Good evening. Welcome to the Den of Tools.
So, I'm going to be your host today. Yeah, this is the bear, obviously, you know.
And everyone wants to see the Big Bear's haircut.
Wow.
Yeah, no, right? It's amazing. Definitely the best haircut.
Yes. Absolutely. Hope everyone is doing well. I was hoping to be first in the comments, but it looks like that's not going to be possible this evening. How is everyone
Hello.
doing? Can you click the blue arrow?
What blue?
See right there? Click that.
Sorry about that. I was,
Halen Wolf says, "Oh my gosh, the bear shrank."
I know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, Duncan.
Yes.
No.
You guys can't tell, but I'm actually bald underneath this cap. You just don't know that. Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna do we're gonna do her hair tomorrow. Joe Smith. Hey.
Hi.
Halen Wolf, Robert Adams, daughter of Ra.
Hello, Dada.
Benjamin. I'm wearing a birthday hat for Ricky, whose birthday is tomorrow. I know it says it's my birthday, but
it's
you know,
his birthday.
it's Ricky's
you know.
birthday, and I know that. Where are you going, young man?
Happy birthday, Ricky.
No. All right. Bye-bye.
It
Hey,
says-
Matt.
It says, "Good evening, Bear, Miss Bear and the Cubs." Hi.
Yes. Didiz says, "Greetings from Wisconsin. How is Wisconsin today, this evening?"
Thank you. You know, like, I think I should be the host every night.
That's right. Are you reading Joe Smith's comment?
Yeah.
I know we're just doing some of the live chats. Jeff will be with us shortly. Elle, stop
Interesting.
moving the table. Hey, Benjamin. Hi, Bobby C. Smoke and Reptiles Homestead says, "Hi, guys."
Wait, he's reptiles? I like reptiles. Wow.
Leonard Triggermortis says, "Howdy, y'all." Kirk says, "Jello from Pennsylvania."
Let's make this the Duncan and L show. You know what? I think it should be, okay? Yeah.
I think that sounds good. What do you think, Elle? What would
I
you
think
talk
so.
about?
I'd talk about reptiles and animals and stuffed animals. And animal facts, you know? Gotta get that knowledge in.
Yep. Hey, Riley. We are happy to be here tonight. It was and still is very warm in Vegas. It is so warm that I almost said Texas, and we are not anywhere near Texas. What?
There's supposed to be heat advisors.
There is a heat advisory for California, parts of Nevada. It's very warm. Grizz says, "Is this Big Bear style?" Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful day in Wisconsin is what Didiz says. Rail9222 says, "Hello, all." Jim says, "Honey, I shrank the bear." Oh, are you showing the
Showing
mug?
off the merch, you know? Like, I'm not good at photography.
No, it's okay. You just have to figure out how to orient it. And can you show them the other side?
So then we got this. If you're in a good mood, you know, if you're in a bad mood, be like, go away. Yeah.
Interesting. I did not know that was one of the design features of that mug. I'm so glad that you have brought that to us this evening. Steven says they will be live streaming some of Ricky's birthday on Facebook.
Yay!
Yay! Happy birthday. Barbecue 76 says he's heard good things about Pit Boss and have been kicking around the idea of a pellet popper.
Wait, Joe Smith. It says maybe Joe Smith should interview Elle after dark.
Yes, on Friday evenings, Joe Smith has a show called After Dark.
Wow. I mean, like, I know I am a star and everything.
You're a star.
I mean, like, that's really what you come to the channel, right?
Mm-hmm. Hey, somebody is here from North Texas. Hello, Michael. I guess I didn't realize it was North Texas. Rainy day in New York, says Sean.
Elle should be Elle for president. You know, like, I could go for president.
Yeah, you have to stay in school and get good grades.
Never mind.
And then you can be president. You can be anything you want. Mark Sparks says, "Never been to Montana, but I think I prefer bust."
It says, Kids know everything. Well,
101 watching and only 16 likes. I have not liked it yet. Trigger Mortis says, kids know everything. That's true. We are headed towards Montana, just not quite yet. Ed, the old tech guy. Hey. Taylor, you need a hug. Jehu, I don't think anybody knows what's going on with Kim Jong-un. I think there's a lot of speculation.
they said
We'll know soon.
the vegetable.
Yes, we're not going to talk about that.
Sorry.
Riley says, hats off to you. You and I couldn't ever live in the city. Yeah, I mean, I like the city, but I like the country.
Montana's way better.
Everybody has their own preference, but yeah.
Elle is the real star of the show. Jeff is just the co-star for Elle.
And Adam says that we look like twins. Yes, she is a mini me. And when I was her age, I looked almost identical.
I found a picture of her when she was younger. I was like, Mom, look at this. And I wasn't even as old as her. I was like, how do I look so old in this? She was like, oh, no, that's me. No, Mom, that's me. I think you got it confused. What?
You only believed me when I pointed out that you'd never seen any of the clothing in the picture.
Yeah, I was like, wait, I don't know this.
That's right. Robert Adams says, I'm wanting to go visit the castle. What castle? Ed, the old tech guy says, hit the like button.
Can we
Steven
like it
says,
on video?
the Den of Tools can't, but I can. I usually do it partway through, usually in the beginning, but Dad is usually talking. So, Iowa was nice and sunny. Where in Montana are we headed? We have a house in Livingston, which is near Bozeman.
It's also near, not Sleeping Giant. Oh yeah, it is.
They're talking about different like towns or cities that people would be familiar with or could find on a map.
Oh yeah.
Bozeman.
The capital of Montana is Helena.
That's right, and we've been there.
I'm
We
a
had
smart
fun.
little girl.
Robert says, hello from sunny South Carolina. 3 Lab Design says, she is your mini twin. She is. Michael says, he's talking to, no, Robert is talking to Michael. Michael saying, hey there, another day in the life. How is yours? Howdy from Sparta, Michigan. First time in chat. Hey, John. Jehu says Dennis Rodman is the next supreme leader of North Korea. Little girl, do you think I cannot see you drinking my drink? She lost her little moppet mind. Steven, I agree. Steven says, I want a 10-acre property. What do you think, Elle? Do you wish that we had property?
Well,
Like bigger
we
property?
do have property technically.
Right. Well, property is another word for like a home, but when people say property, a lot of times they mean like land, not just the house.
He's back. Don't move.
Out of my seat. Out of my property.
Eleanor's doing a great job.
Yes.
I'm, of course, behind in comments.
Oh, it's not so easy when you're leading the storyline, is it?
Obviously.
I don't even know who you
I'm
are.
the star of the show.
Yes, everyone's saying she's the star of the show. You're going to need to adjust the camera and the table and like 15 other things.
You gotta scoot in. I can't get past you.
Okay. I think the table needs
Hold
to
on.
go in.
Hold on. You knocked over the soda.
Awesome.
Everything's crashing.
The world's on fire. Dear Falcon says he wants to get to 100 likes before you get here. So everybody hurry up and hit the like button. Duncan was here for a record 3.7 seconds.
Really?
He's like, well, they saw my hair.
What do you think? Can I cut some hair or what? I'm gonna open my own barber shop. It's gonna be like one of those restaurants where there's only like one thing on the menu.
Right. Sorry.
Do you mind?
Sorry. I'm trying to like it. Yeah, it'll be like one of those bougie restaurants where you can only order one haircut.
You get what's on the menu. The menu
Right.
being whatever the chef's
Like-
making that day.
Mohawk or all gone. Those are the options.
Next week or next month, I want to do it like a big arrow, like the Airbender. If you've seen that.
Griffin and Duncan could be twins. People have noticed that Eleanor and I look like twins, that we're very similar.
Yes. Yes, you are.
Halen Wolf, thank you so much for the $10 super chat. That is super sweet.
Oh,
Says this
wow.
is for host L. Yes, Eleanor was super excited. I think she was also super excited to be wearing a hat.
She was excited about the hat thing, wasn't she?
Well, I think it's because it's an Oakland hat. She has plans to steal it.
Apparently, we're picking up Robert at the Bozeman Airport. Don't forget.
Okay. Awesome. I'm going to ring the bell.
You can ring my bell.
Bing, 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 bing. Okay, sorry. Losing my mind already. Early in the morning.
Aerodynamic. That's very true. All right, I'm going to get you up your own little chat window here.
My own little chatty chat.
Yeah.
So I apologize that things were a little crazy.
Did you
Hey,
tell
PJ Kentucky.
about what happened? Why it took me 45 minutes to get the webcam working for some reason.
I didn't tell them anything about
I have
that.
no
because-
idea why.
And PJ Kentucky, I know it says it's my birthday. It's not mine. It's actually Ricky's birthday, which is why I wear the hat.
Well, Ricky's birthday is just like, having your birthday. So.
It is. And I'm expecting that Ricky and Steven and Daughter Vra are all going to eat cake for me tomorrow. I would really appreciate that.
Cake.
So it's actually kind of warm, and I feel like it's going to give me a little hat head situation.
Speaking of PJ Kentucky,
Yes.
would you like to talk about what's behind us?
This lovely, amazing, I don't know if you can read it. It says, "Don't feed the bears." Obviously, they're not talking about us because you should always feed us if we are around. Just keto-friendly meats
And vegetables.
and cheese.
And cheese.
There aren't really a ton of keto-friendly vegetables. But that's
And vodka.
Vodka's keto-friendly. Mm-hmm. Yep.
So anyway, there's your up-to-date live stream.
Okay. So yes, PJ Kentucky sent us this amazing Don't Feed the Bears. Thank you so much. Super appreciate it. It is such a wonderful gift. Why are you laughing at me?
Jim Haynes, Honey, I Shrunk the Bear.
Yes.
That was adorable.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Where did we leave off?
Well, I don't know because you started moving things.
Yeah, I do that.
In the middle would be my answer. I would say you could start at the beginning, and I'll just look at the stuff that's current, and hopefully we'll get together.
Just missed. Maybe Joe should interview Elle on After Dark.
Yes. Elle thought that sounded super exciting. She also was like, "I'm a star."
Y Pop said cold and rainy day in here in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada.
I did not read that one,
Okay, so we're behind that.
but I think I read things around it.
Nice.
If you made comments in the very beginning, I did not get to you, and I super apologize. We are behind. If we totally missed your comment, we were not doing it intentionally. Definitely mention it again, and we will get to it.
Steve says Iowa was nice and sunny. Where in Montana are you headed?
I said Livingston.
Livingston.
I answered that one.
Yep. And did you tell them when we're leaving?
No.
Okay. So it's going to be later in the week. So, but we've got to do the full migrations, which means taking tools that we have yet to be tested, tools that we're going to need while we're up there. So we've got to load up the old truck for that and figure out how we're going to do all of this. It's going to be fun. And don't give me
It's
that
going to
look.
be an adventure
It's going to be an adventure. And
with a dog and children and partridge in a pear
and
tree.
because of the situation, we got to do it all in one shot.
Right.
So we're going to be leaving at like 5 o'clock in the morning and arriving at like midnight probably. And so, fingers crossed.
Hey, somebody just subscribed, but I don't see it on my chat yet. As soon as we see it, we will say your name.
John says howdy from Spartan, Michigan. Steve wants a 10-acre property.
Yes.
Well, why just settle for 10? I don't want to be able to see property that I don't own. Sonic Chris says the lack about Kim is telling. Yeah. Have you seen the pictures of his sister? They're all like this. I don't want to be on the wrong side of that woman. Mark Sparks says your volume is way down. Way down.
I think mine's okay.
No, I think yours is way down. Mine's even down a little bit. There we go.
Oh my goodness.
We turned
there's
up a
the
little
other
bit.
Little bear. And this is the other one who got a haircut recently.
See,
So
I'm a
everyone is
master at my
matching.
craft.
You can't even do a haircut. You can only shave someone bald.
That's a haircut. He can also do mohawks quite well.
And reverse mohawks.
Yes, reverse mohawks.
Did you tell him about Duncan?
No.
So when we went to do Duncan, he was like, "Fine, just do it." And so I just did a straight swipe right down the center because there's no going back from that.
Yep.
That was like, okay, we're doing it now.
Like, unless you want to look, like, really weird. Like,
Yeah.
you just got...
And then I proceeded to shave half of his head, leaving the other half the same length. That
Yeah,
was fun.
and then he was like super excited to go look at that. Brian Mack says, "Isn't there still snow in Montana?" Yep. There's snow all the time.
Michael says, care to guess how long the wife believed how long there was such a place? I don't know what that is. Well, he also said, speaking of haircuts, used to annoy the wife. Oh, maybe this is it. Used to annoy the wife by threatening to take her to the punk dog groomer of Falls Church.
I like it. A dog with a mohawk. Hey, actually, when I lived in Livingston, I had a neighbor who had a German Shepherd that had an earring, like literally in his little dog ear. He had a hoop.
That's wrong. We have to go over to Steve and Daughter Roz.
I know they're gonna have 18 cupcakes, and what I read the first time was 2 9-layer cakes. That's not what it says, but I was like, that's a lot of layers, and why did they have 2 of them? And then I was like, well, maybe it's like when you get married, there's like the bride's, like the topper, and then there's like a groom cake, right? Sometimes. I was like, maybe they couldn't decide on a flavor. So that's the next question. What is the flavor for Ricky's? Is it strawberry something?
Barbecue 76 says, Fuzzy Wuzzy was a bear. Fuzzy Wuzzy had no hair. Guess you don't count the beard anyway. It doesn't rhyme. Halon wants to know, why do I listen to you all? I think about the purple mattress ad with the Sasquatch.
I was just thinking, I'm like, wow, we have the purple mattress ad on ours.
Is vodka keto? I believe so. I think it is.
Vodka, I mean, people have differing views about whether or not you should drink alcohol at all when you are keto because it affects your body.
No.
But vodka of all of the drinks has the lowest calories and no carbs. I think there's no carbs. So what I do...
I think you're confusing OMAD people with keto people.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I'm impervious to that.
Oh my gosh.
Just so you know. It's like...
We're showing our wealth right now. I just realized we are like... You can see the Charmin toilet paper that we have acquired.
Oh, yeah.
We're not trying
should
to
hide
like
that.
make anyone jealous. We just
Nothing to see
happen to
here,
have
move
toilet
on.
paper. I just was like, that's not normally there.
Where'd that come from?
A friend was able to find some toilet paper.
Oh, yeah.
So so that is my toilet
Black
paper.
market toilet paper.
Yeah. It's like, late night, you like pull up, you like reverse your car so no one has to get, well, I guess one of you would have to get out in that situation. But you know what I mean. You just launch it and then drive away.
By the way, Frank grilled steaks tonight.
I saw that. I was thinking perhaps we should go to Frank's house. Frank, did you make enough for all of us? Were there like mushrooms and things on top or?
Wes says, I'm new to your channel. I'm about to plunge into buying tools for DIY home improvement. Your presentation... Yeah, it's ironic. Your presentation style is ironic when you can pronounce what you're actually talking about. Thank you, sir. I really appreciate that, and I'm glad that we can be here to help. We also, besides on the channel, we're over on Facebook. We're just getting started over on Reddit. We're here every Sunday night, or at least we try to be here every Sunday night. So always feel free to stop on by if you get any questions, comments, facts, or fiction, whatever you want to come up with.
Dinner. You can tell us about your dinner.
Pass the Spider wants to buy WinRAR. Why are you buying WinRAR?
What is WinRAR?
It's a piece of compression software.
Oh, I thought it was like a stock. I'm like, wrong channel.
No. Is there still snow in Montana? On the mountains there is, but I don't know anywhere where it's on the lowlands. Like
Sure,
where
there's snow.
Like where our house is, there's no snow on the ground unless you're above certain points of elevation, which are not that high up, to be completely honest. No. Now all the LV burglars and squatters know where to go. Good luck with that. And did you look at the photos I sent you via Jeff's email?
Was it last week?
We've slept since then. Our memory is terrible.
Yes.
Hold on.
I want to say that I did see photos.
I remember showing you something. I just can't remember what it was. I'm opening my email now.
Yeah, we're not going to know if we get the Alzheimer's.
For what?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Who are you?
Your old bag.
That's for sure.
This would be the part where it'd be good for me to be able to see the comments on my phone. So.
No, I did not show her these photos.
Ooh, my next vehicle.
Yes.
That's nice. I like that. Where can I pick one up? Very cool vehicle pictures. Matt, no, not Matt. Ricky Perkins says, at the Den of Tools, what do you think about Snap-on Tool Brand? It has being USA forever and has not abandoned us to China.
Yeah, it has. See, and this is proof again that they are purposely marketing this as an American brand with all American tools. Yes, their core tools, as if you believe that their core tools are the hardline, the ratchets, wrenches, the most of the high-end chromed equipment, that is still almost entirely made in the U.S. But then when you get into the secondary kind of tools, and yes, even the hand tools, especially when you get into the specialty stuff, their main carts, their tool carts, like the one behind me, their version of that's made in the U.S. The little carts and stuff that go with it, made in China. All their electronics, made in China. The majority, if not all of their power tools, made in China. But they sell you on the fact that they're American made.
A lot of people are saying that they liked the hammer video this week.
Oh, yeah.
Jennifer Whitewolf said she liked it. Frank says there was lots of hammers. There were
lots of people told me,
hammers.
you missed this hammer, you missed this hammer. I said at the beginning, can't cover all the hammers.
Yeah.
Somebody's like, you didn't cover this body shop hammer. I'm like, there's as many body shop hammers as there are in this entire video. I would have to do a whole video just on body shop hammers.
What? No ears tonight? Blue hat time. That's right. I'm wearing it for Ricky. Happy birthday.
I thought you were wearing it for Montana.
Well, I actually did think that was really cool. We happen to have this hat because, it's somebody's birthday. It seemed appropriate that we were going to Montana and cowboy hats and Ricky's birthday.
Kyle says, are you still able to see who hits the dislike button? I've never been able to see who hits the dislike button. I can see how many dislikes there are.
Yeah.
I can see people that are subscribed. That's what's always funny when people say, I'm unsubscribing. I'm like, you weren't subscribed to begin with. Michael says it's better on the audio level. And the Tech guy says, my bear just changed color. Oh, that's cool. I was like,
cool.
what does he mean it changed color? He's talking about the bear icon behind his name because he's a member for over 1 month here at the Den of Tools.
Yeah.
And it's like Patreon, but built into YouTube. And bring the cigar back. We've been playing around with that. We got rid of it because we're trying to promote a family-friendly environment. People can sit and watch with their kids and stuff like that, and not have to answer weird questions about why does the bear have a cigar?
Yeah.
But then with YouTube, with the whole thing with appealing to children, so I don't know. We go back and forth. I like the cigar. I put the cigar in there to begin with. But, people think I smoke a cigar a lot, and I don't smoke a lot. I do smoke a cigar. I'm looking forward to sitting on the back porch up in Montana and having a couple. But,
Good luck with that.
Groovejet. Hey, Groovejet. Heidi ho, guys. Nice to relax with you after hard work. LOL, seeing your son there reminds me how you scalped him. I've scalped both of them now. All the men in the house.
And
bald.
Griffin did yours.
And Griffin did mine. That's true.
Yep. Jehu says he had tacos de al pastor and modelo negro for dinner. A few other people said that they had steak, so apparently we did not choose wisely in eating home tonight. We should have eaten at someone else's house.
Bear One says, read this like a cheesy game show host. I don't know. Game show host doesn't sound right. Sounds more like it should be like one of those cheesy, 1980s commercials. Have you been feeling down in the dumps? Doom and gloom has your mind scrambled? Well, smile now with Den of Tools. Chomp that like button. Thumbs up. May cause gastrointestinal discomfort.
Yeah, and then you can list like every single possible side effect known to man. May cause increased breathing. Feeling of self-importance.
I always love the one for Olestra.
Yes.
That was a terrible one. Gary says, good evening. I have freight this week after 11 days off. I need rest from work around the house. 3 pickup loads of pine needles out of my yard today. Oh my gosh. That's a lot of pine needles.
All I can think is that you must be really itchy at the end of the day, because I'm assuming that you would get really sweaty and then there'd be like a pine needle or 72 that would somehow work their way into like your clothes.
And the sap.
Oh, yeah.
Gets all over you.
Yep.
Ralph wants to know, is Grizzly Tools a good company to buy from? And that's a yes. I gave them a hard time over their power tools, the recent cordless tools. I'm not a fan of those. They've OEM'd those from some company. They just slapped their label on them. It's not a large selection of tools. It's not a reputable company. It is a lower middle tier company at best. And I was really disappointed to see that's who they went with. As far as they're well known as being one of the best bandsaws in the business, probably one of the best alternatives to like a Delta Unisaw in the business. You'll see a lot of professional woodworkers who start off with Grizzly and then maybe move on to something else. You'll also see a lot of professional woodworkers who have nothing but Grizzly in their shop. So Grizzly and metalworking, they do some incredibly nice lathes and other metal equipment. They make everything you can imagine. You should see their catalog. It's massive. Massive.
Matt is having a massive taco salad. I feel like somebody else just told me what they were eating. I feel like we should have this food discussion before we have dinner, because I always feel like, man, I could have like taco salad or whatever.
Steve says we're welcome to come visit.
Aw, thank you.
I was saying before, I was actually seriously trying to contemplate how we could do a road trip.
Yeah.
Like a 3-week road trip this summer, but that's not going to happen this summer now.
No. Be like, it'll be the incredible bubble tour where no one gets out of their car or greets anyone. Jeremy Russell says, at the Den of Tools, I'm late, but I'm here. I had to finish another stream, 9:27, when I hit the send just to see how far behind we are. Oh, well, that was 2 minutes ago, but we're really behind. So, ooh, Steven had wonton soup for dinner. See, I'm telling you.
She loves wonton soup.
I love wonton soup.
And let's see here. By the time you get here, I will get more, as we ate 3 hours ago.
Oh, so we're late for dinner? That's awful.
Did Barbecue 76 asked us to tell him about our dinner. Did you talk about that?
Nope.
It was very beige.
Yes. It did not involve.
Last night they had barbecue steak and tonight barbecue chicken.
Did you expect something else? No, I did not. And I should learn to eat more like Barbecue 76. Sounds delicious.
The warehouse I delivered to tried to order a pallet of masks. They went 70,000, Jehu says. Whoa.
Ooh, sorry.
Easy there, Tex.
Sorry. It's totally my hat.
Zavia, is it really Mrs. Bear's?
No, it's not really my birthday.
No.
I'm confusing people. Sorry.
You should have put a piece of sticker, like
I-
blue tape
well,
on it and say
That was my
Ricky's.
original plan, but we were having technical difficulties. So
Gary says they got they scored a Charmin Mega Roll.
the 24 pack.
What's that?
I was reading it says it's 24 pack. That's crazy. I think ours is like 18.
Read your own comments.
Mind your own beeswax.
Read your own
I'm all up in
comments.
yours.
This one's mine over here.
Bear One wants
What
to
is
know.
that noise?
That's our son, our oldest son.
Is he yodeling in there?
Something like that.
Alexa, change studio to red.
Oh,
Studio isn't responding. Please check its network connection and power supply.
Somebody unplugged my light. Did you? Really?
no, I think it's from the tech issues we had earlier.
Oh, that's right. I forgot
Bear
about
One
that.
says this was originally written before Bear came. Hey, Mrs. DeBear. Oh, I can't read it. Hang on. I'm missing. Hang on. I'm going to come back. I'm all flustered. Brandon Martin, $5 super chat. SK for the win. USA, USA. Okay. Bing, 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 bing. Thank you so much for the super chat, Brandon. And I'm going to try to finish my thought, which is now not on the screen, which is why I have to go back. Because Bear One wrote this before, and I couldn't read it. And so now I'm trying to read it. It says something. Hey, Mrs. DeBear and Little Miss Bear. Now, the Big Bear. Have any of you guys tried peach soda? No, I have not even heard of peach soda.
I've had something like that. It's called peach schnapps, and it's fantastic.
Don't listen to him, children. Peach schnapps is not soda, and you should not drink it.
It's a beverage, so it's similar.
It is a beverage.
It's peach.
Our son is standing on the other side of the door, making loud mouse noises.
When you get up to beat him, you should hand me the vodka.
I can't right now.
Sure you can.
No.
Let's see here. Got any leads on decent woodworking tools on a budget? If I do, they show up in the deals of the week when I run across them. Woodworking basically means not going to be budget. So the only way you're going to find them on a budget is usually used. Unless you're talking about like power tool, and even then, man, it's because like the good woodworking power tools are stuff like a Grizzly lathe or bandsaw. We had a good deal on the Delta saw, but I think that deal's probably run its course. Hand tools. I mean, usually garage sales and stuff like that is where I find the good deals on that stuff.
Good evening, Y-Pop. I know that you have to go. He says, my alarm is going off 6 a.m. tomorrow. Take care,
Good night,
all.
sir. You take care.
Have a great night.
Keith says, I need an air compressor for the garage. High volume. He says hat volume. I'm guessing it means high. High volume and PSI. Budget is around $300.
I read that before and could not understand what garage hat volume meant. So,
Yeah. I don't know what high volume and PSI is exactly you're looking for. I would look at Cobalt. Cobalt's got some fairly decent stuff, that is pretty quiet. If you're willing to go with non-oiled. The thing is, oiled, high volume, high PSI, and oil means it's going to cost more because they have to have more precise cuts to it, to the piston rings and such, to get that precision keep the oil from sliding by and whatnot. So That's a gross generalization, but I used to be. You can go back and look at my old videos. I used to be the guys like, never buy an oilless compressor. Never, never, never. The technology has... It's not to the point where, hey, this is what you want to use for every day. If you're using it every day, you want an oiled compressor. If you're using it once a week, go oilless.
Ralph Henderson says, at the dental tools, is it possible for anyone to get a catalog from Grizzly? I think he means, like, do you have to be, like, a professional?
Yeah, I think you can order it for free.
Okay.
And it's online as well.
Okay. Terry, hey, how are you doing? $10 super chat. Wow. Finally, unemployment came in. Yip, yip. I am super happy for you. I know you had been waiting, and I'm not sure if you made the comment last week that you thought Wish might be sending it. Somebody did. But I am super glad that it came in. And thank you for being here, and thank you for the super chat. Bing, 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 bing. Thank you. Are you laughing at me?
On the inside. I'm trying not to fade from the heat.
Yeah, it's pretty warm.
I see you put a extra shirt on.
Yeah.
Chickened out. She had a tank top on before too, because it is that warm around here.
It's super warm. But it's one of those tank tops that like you love forever. And I probably have had it since Eleanor was a baby. And there's like this lace trim that goes along. It's a tank top.
It's falling apart.
It's falling apart. It was really...
That just makes it that much cuter.
Yeah. It's cuter like when I'm cleaning the bathroom and in my own house. But like, you know, when I'm hanging out with friends, probably not really appropriate.
Sorry. Rotator cuff. That
Don't
feels...
let him lie to you. I beat him up at
feels
night.
like there's gravel in there.
Yes, that's this one. This shoulder.
Yeah. Sorry. Oh, Ralph said he's going to be in Vegas in September. Is there any way he can meet up with us? That's going to be a definite maybe. So we always like to meet up with people, and if we're available, we're definitely open for it.
Yeah.
Either both of us or just myself or whatever. Drop me an email at red@dentatools.com. Always happy to hang out and have a drink or something and talk. But I'm honestly not sure if we're going to be back by September. So it's going to be one of those things that we're going to play by ear. It's all going to be dependent on...
I think everybody in the world is sort of...
Playing it by ear at this point?
Playing it by ear.
Yeah.
But that being said, like he said, if you are going to be, you know, in Vegas or Montana or somewhere in between... And, you know, feel free to reach out to us. Like if something cool is happening or you just want to whatever, let us know.
If you're going to be in Bora Bora and you want to send us tickets to join you, we'll do it.
Yes.
We're that committed. I
am super committed to that. Let me tell you, I'm committed.
Should be committed would be the
That's
answer.
Right. That like unlimited flight thing isn't still happening.
Oh, no, it's not.
Before I forget, and the chat goes by, Terry, thank you again. You get the little pear
The
guy.
dancing
Hey,
pear.
you. $2 super chat. Thank you so much. Ding, 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 ding. Terry,
bing,
I want
bing.
you to hang on to your dollars,
No
too.
bing bing.
Bing, bing. You got me all confused now. Anyways, but yes, if you would like us to come visit Bora Bora.
What she was referring to with the unlimited flight thing is, I think it was American Airlines was selling to raise capital rather than like issuing bonds or stocks or whatever. They started selling unlimited flight passes. You could become a premier top level tier member. And I think it was something like $100,000, $200,000 or something when it first came out. And basically, I think it was $150,000.
The first one, 1981, it was $250,000.
$250,000.
You could get a companion pass as well for $150,000. So it was $400,000 for you and a companion.
To fly first class, unlimited, no blackouts, no asterisk, nothing for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
And some people did it, and they basically were putting the company out of business. They were flying so much.
Yep.
So the United or American came back around, and about 10, 15 years later, said that they had violated some clause
Mm-hmm.
and revoked it, and basically had enough lawyers to keep it in the courts forever, and it was costing them less to fight it than it was to provide them with air travel. They just completely flat out.
And they had they must have hired PIs, private they went all out.
Yeah,
But-
they called this guy's neighbors, and they went back for have you heard about him? And they high pressure, we know that he paid. We've got evidence, and if you don't sign this document admitting to it, we're going to prosecute you as well.
Yeah.
And basically saying that stuff they were selling the other ticket.
Yeah, all kinds of things that they couldn't prove, but they had more money than the other folks, which is kind of interesting since they spent a gajillion dollars to fly everywhere. But, yeah.
It's one of those things that's the reason why people don't trust big corporations, because they pull stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mm.
David Starr, thank you for the $2 super chat. Bing, 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 bing. Super appreciate it.
Ed the Old Tech Guy says, Snap on every tool with electronic components made in China for sure. Or at least the majority of it is made in China. There's and especially if it's got batteries. There's nothing in the U.S. Making lithium batteries right now except for Tesla. Did you cover the hammer the doctors use on the knee? No, we didn't. Brandon says, remember when you were cool and smoked cigars? Bring the cigar back. I'm still cool. The cigar didn't make me cool.
Who said that?
Brandon. Craig says, is it possible to buy a U.S.-made floor jack or jack stands? I'm sure it is. I know that Snap-on is now offering a U.S.-made floor jack because they took it in the teeth over the dispute with Harbor Freight when Harbor Freight outed them for making their jack in China. And so they set up a whole separate factory just to build floor jacks. They're not cheap. The jack stand should be easy enough to do in the U.S. though. In fact, the jack should be easy enough. That's, stuff like that. It's not high-end kind of stuff like it is with, the kind of machinery you get with doing sockets and stuff like that, or doing, electronics you'd see in an impact or whatnot. Do the body shop hammers... Jennifer asks, do the body shop hammers? I'll send photos of mine and a screenshot of Musty's. Scott says, looking at the Win 6-amp hand planer for $42. Good choice. I make projects from pallet wood, mostly softwood. Also recommendations on bench top planer when I can afford one.
I have to go to
Why?
Jennifer White Wolf's house. She's making SOS for dinner. I'm coming over. That is my number one all-time favorite meal in the universe. Sorry to interrupt.
No, the first special meal, birthday meal thing I made for her was that, because that's her favorite thing in the world.
Yep.
I'd never made it before. Apparently I did an okay job.
You did. And I wish we could find a way to make it keto, but we can't.
Yeah. So Win makes some decent tools. They really do. I have their benchtop oscillating belt sander, and if you talk to Brad over Brad's Workbench, I think he's got a couple items from them. He's got the I think he's got the planer, and he's got the benchtop planer and the drill press. And I know several other people have them. Here's the problem with Win. Their customer service is practically non-existent. I've talked to a lot of people who are in service tech positions, and they say basically they've seen stuff be sent back to Win, have it come back, and the box was clearly not even opened. And, or that they looked at it, they didn't change anything to it, and they're like, oh, works fine. And sent it back completely broken in exactly the same way. And trying to call their customer service and get a hold of somebody, I've tried to do that. It's just as simply as just a test. I didn't have any problems with anything. So basically, if you buy from them, you buy with the assumption that if it breaks and I can't fix it, it's dead. And if you're okay with that, and there are situations in tools where the deal may be so good that you'll do that. As far as the benchtop planer, I would probably go with the Bauer from Harbor Freight, because when it's on sale for $250, There really isn't one that's cheaper that has the features it has. And they're all pretty much the same when it comes to that lunchbox style. You got to really jump up to one of the higher end DeWalt's to get anything better. I hope that answered your question.
Daughter of Ross says, SOS being scrambled hamburger mushroom soup over potatoes. No, it is like a preserved shaved beef. It's a
It's chipped corned beef on
toast.
On toast.
So it's like, it's a really, really salty.
Very salty.
Very salty beef.
And essentially a gravy.
Right, in a white gravy.
On carbs.
On carbs. So it's carbs with carbs and a little bit of protein.
Yeah, highly salted preserved protein.
Yeah.
It's very much health food.
It's very much comes from the military and feeds a lot of people.
Yeah.
With not a lot of stuff. It's like some dairy, maybe in the military. It might not even be dairy. It might be like water and flour and a lot of salt and throw something that looks like meat in it.
Joe Smith said it was him that brought up the body shop hammers. I could yell at him. Joe, I would. I'd be happy to, but you were hardly the only person to bring it up. I probably had a dozen people. What about body shop hammers? Oh my gosh. Brian says is it tool question time? Will Hercules bring out a 10-inch sliding compound miter saw? I know Harbor Freight has CE Bauer Hercules line for the 12-inch, but only CE. I
have to move these hats. I can't read over the hats.
So I have
many problems.
No,
list them all right now.
I have contacts over at Harbor Freight who tell me stuff, and some of them will, and when they tell me things, I say, you got to tell me this. You got to say, can I talk about this? Or is this something that, like, if I talk about, somebody will know who it was who told me? And as such, I can't answer that question. I can tell you that within the next 5 years, you might want to call Harbor Freight the sliding compound miter store. Take of that what you will. Groovjet, Hannah, Montana.
Groovjet, honey, have you been drinking? Did you start without us?
Mark says you missed an opportunity to play MC Hammer during a recent video. I didn't miss the opportunity. I didn't want to get copyright struck.
Yeah.
Jennifer White Wolf says, aw, no cigar. What's wrong with the cigar?
My hair is making me crazy. I have told him that we should shave my hair.
Your hair makes you crazy. Shaving it would make me angry.
It would make you very angry.
You don't want to see me when I'm angry. Or hangry, for that matter. You've seen that.
Yes. Today, even.
No, I was just petulant and
what?
angry today.
The person in our family who gets hangry the worst.
Duncan? No, you don't get hangry.
Oh, I am like...
You become murderous.
I am. It's really bad. And that's why when we are being really... I hate using the word strict, but really, when we're really adhering to what we should be eating and not eating carbs and eating strictly keto, that is one of the things that I found. As long as I get enough food, which...
Then I won't murder you.
Right. But when I get hangry, I'm like, you know what? Prison doesn't sound so bad. They're going to feed me there, and I might not even have to do my own laundry.
Which is why I need my my shop door to lock from the inside.
It doesn't. It doesn't. He's not safe. Joshua Robinson. I don't know what I did with my bell. It says, at the Den of Tools. Love the video you did about hammers. Do you like the Harbor Freight brass hickory 2-pound hammer? Hang on. Let me ring the bell. Bing, 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 bing. I think I need different songs. Thank you so much, Joshua. Take it away.
You're going to start composing bell songs?
I might. You don't know.
For the price, it's not bad. It's nothing to write home about. It is a cheap brass hammer, and that's about all that it is. I'm trying to remember, there was a website that does nothing but sell hickory handles. And if you want something that was a little bit nicer as far as the handle, I would do that. I've often thought about I want to get a cheap metal lathe and turn my own, but that's down the road. But I mean, if you need an inexpensive brass handle, it will do the job. And to be fully honest, a lot of times I go more for the multi-faced hammers where I can change the heads on it. So I can have brass on one side. I can have a hard impact plastic on the other side. So I like the utility of it. There's my tiny. Oh, there's my other tiny. I should have shown this hammer.
I was gonna
This is
say.
my little gunsmithing hammer.
Yep.
If you can see it's pretty tiny, and I didn't think it would work out very well. But you see, it's got a brass end on it and a plastic end, and it's got other ends you can screw on it and whatnot. But for what I use it for, this thing's fantastic.
Whacking the children.
Yeah, mostly.
Yep. It's perfect. It's great.
You can be very accurate, right between the eyes. If you hit it just right, quick enough with the good snap,
They don't even know
they're
what
quiet
happened.
for hours.
They don't even know what happened. Fred Hill, $2 super chat, says, Bear, did you piss off the Snap-on fanboys?
Every single day of my life.
Bing, 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 bing. Thank you so much. And I really like your freedom icon. Your eagle with the flag. I was going to say... Oh, Steven wants to know cowbell next Sunday. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we will.
If the internet's working.
Yes.
Which apparently our internet is down there.
Yes.
Something happened, so we have to hopefully go up there and I'm hoping it's just recycling the router.
Yeah, that was my thought. I'm
Power
like,
cycling, I should
well,
say, not recycling.
And of course, I was making the phone call to like get things set up. And as I'm having the conversation with the guy, I'm like, I am like the least useful person in this conversation. He's like, so when you guys left, you know, did you blah, blah? And I'm like, I have no idea what language you're speaking. I'll talk to my husband and call you back.
Bear One says, take a look at Discord. I posted new food from tonight. Thomas says, I have to apologize. I thought I was subscribed. Now I am. And Leonard Trigger says, did you read my comment? And do you think I have enough hammers?
Oh, we didn't see your comment.
I didn't see your comment. Or was it your comment in the video? In which case, if it was that comment, no, because it's a trick question. You can never have enough hammers. But you do have a good selection of hammers. How about bubblegum cigarettes with fake smoke?
Oh my goodness. I remember those when I was a kid.
Ricky says, I just love the family flavor. Keep it up, guys. Thank you very much. Grimute. So now I own the Herc Miter Saw and stand. Remember, I've been drooling over that thing for about a year. And what do you think about it? Everywhere I go, every time I have a conversation, I was on Reddit, some other board, somebody's like, well, I finally bought this thing. He goes, and I'm a professional, and I've had DeWalt for years, and you know they have this money back guarantee. So I'm like, I'll try it. I'll give it a try. He's like, I would never go back. He's like, this thing's fabulous, and it's half the price. Of course, then somebody chimes in with the $779 is the same price, and now you're buying DeWalt. I'm like, and it's not the same saw. It's got the same frame, not the same saw.
Fred Hill, welcome. Ding! Ooh, that was loud. Sorry for everyone's ears. I did not intend it to be so loud. Welcome to the den.
New member. Thank you so much, sir. We
Yes.
really appreciate that. Wes says, do you have a video or post somewhere about tools, about what tools constitute a solid foundation for a beginner? What would allow me to do flooring, trim work, blah, blah, with Wes? No, I don't. Wes, yes, I should. Red's been a bad bear, and it's something he's known he needs to do for some time, and I just have to make him do it. So I apologize. I definitely should have that. And I've got lists worked up. And here's what happens. Every time I try to do that video, the tool list I make keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And it's one of those slippery slope things of, well, you know, if you're going to get this, then you need this. Of course, well, I get that when you can get these other things. Jeremy says, I'm late here. Had to finish another stream while we were in that one. Matthew says, Evening Bears just bought a machete and a hickory-handled hatchet online from Harbor Freight just to be safe. Thomas says, hybrid table saw on a budget. I have a crappy old Craftsman with aluminum table. Need an upgrade. The best deal you can possibly get right now is Lowe's is replacing the standard Delta table saw, the big one that's about the biggest hybrid table saw you can buy at any retail store, like chain retail store, not like specialty woodworking shops, but it's definitely better than the rigid one that's out. I've had both of them. The Delta is fantastic, and they're replacing it with an updated model. Because of that, they've been blowing out, and they haven't been advertising. They haven't been talking about it. It didn't even show up on their discount pages. But what you do is you go in the store, and they still have the old one that has the gray panels, and especially if it's a floor model. Talk to the store manager. Say you heard that they're replacing it with a new one, and you were wondering if they got any deals on the floor models. And I've heard of guys getting it for half price. We posted in the deals page over on the Den Tools group on Facebook. I've seen photos of receipts with the saw showing guys paid literally half. Some paid more. That half was the cheapest that I've seen. Honestly, anything under $400 on that, it is an absolute steal.
And like we always say, it doesn't hurt to ask. Just be respectful and
do it respectfully.
gracious. And sometimes you're going to get somebody that's going to say no, and that's okay. It's definitely not a guarantee, but I have found a lot of times just being kind and courteous and asking nicely gets you far in life.
Ooh, Rex Racer says, "Hello Bears, purchased some SK tools this week and joined their pro club." Is that the one where they send you a tool every month? Because that seems pretty cool. I was thinking about joining that as well. I like SK tools. Yes?
Just about the Jayco with the icon thingies.
Oh, okay. I'm going to come back to this real quick. Jayco, not to say... He posted a thing with a bunch of hammers.
Your hammers.
We're not... Yeah. But there is an algorithm built into YouTube that if you spam emojis, that they will ban your account. The whole account.
Yeah.
Just...
Yeah.
So I would remove that comment, and it's not like they do it consciously. They have something about... I don't even understand. Nobody knows why they do it. There's something about trying to stop spammers from doing something.
PJ Kentucky says we're buffering. I don't see something that tells us the stream strength right now, so I can't answer that. But PJ Kentucky, thank you for letting us know. We're looking to see if we can find out more. Fred Hill, so I'm a Cub now was his question because he joined this evening.
Yes.
Yes.
Says we have good signal strength.
Maybe it's on... Oh, it says YouTube is buffering. That's what Halen Wolfie says. They're throttling.
And it just said YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming.
Oh. Open. We're working on it. Elemental Factor says we're buffering.
Stream status is poor now.
Children?
Yeah. Go check on
Whack a child. I shall return victorious.
Little buggers. So, now that she's gone, was the SK. So I'm a huge fan of SK tools. I will say that some of their chrome doesn't hold up as well as I would like it to. I think the depth on their wrenches is a little shallow. It'd be nice if it was a little bit deeper. But anyway, the biggest thing is I want them to come out with a mid-tier level of tools. So they are owned by a family-owned company called Ideal Industries, and who also owns Western Forge. So they've got some tool lines out there that are of the budget line. And they've got SK, which is definitely the far from budget line. I would like to see them come out and try to compete at that craftsman level. The prosumer grade, made in the U.S., employs, real U.S. workers in real trade jobs. And I think they could do it. I think that they could be successful doing it. I'm not sure why they haven't approached that. Maybe there just isn't enough profit margin in it for them. I don't know. Jay, who says thoughts on paying for subscribers? Nope, don't ever do it. Paying for subscribers is a loser's game. YouTube knows what that's about. They can tell when you pay for subscribers. You get a bunch of subscribers from a bunch of places that you don't normally have people from. They all show up at once, and they're always the same subscribers who show up at all the other places. Dude, people have been paying for stuff like that on Facebook, on YouTube, everywhere else for years and years and years. Actually, it will do the exact opposite for you, in that you will get shadow banned by. They'll look at you like, well, they pay for subscribers. It's not real content. Probably a spam account anyway. And so you won't get promoted. So don't pay for subscribers. Daughter Raw. And pickling the brains. That's true. Steve says, wait until this virus stuff is over. Then we don't have to deal with the restrictions. Yeah. Frank says, pea soup made last week was great. Pea soup has to sit a bit for the flavors to coalesce. Gary says we had red eye steak with broccoli. See, I don't mind broccoli. Michael says hazard pay time, being a tail gunner for a Sherman truck.
Oh my gosh. By the way, I'm like the meanest mom ever.
Were they all streaming stuff? And
I think the boys were gaming, and Eleanor was allegedly doing homework, but might have involved YouTube.
oh, look, our stream status is excellent.
It's amazing.
Robert says Charmin Forever rolls 1,700 sheets for $9.
Mm-hmm.
And Steve says, I think Fago makes peach soda.
Yes, that is not a brand that we see
Or
here.
familiar with.
But I think that they have it. I think they might have it in Montana. Sorry, I kicked the table.
Bear One says that Winn-Dixie has Czech, a store brand called Czech, and they make an amazing peach soda.
We'll have to look into that.
Ralph says, would you buy tools from Grizzly, your cousin? We kind of talked about this before, but not their cordless power tools, but everything else, yes.
Okay, Terry. Sorry, I don't know what I did with my bell.
Fleas.
The fleas I gave him earlier.
Brent wants to know about the...
I'm
What?
talking here.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I was. Terry did a super chat.
Oh.
He says...
Woo-ha-ha.
Yeah, I was trying to figure that one out. Woo-ha. Good night, all. Stay safe. $2.64 super chat. Thank you so much. I super appreciate it when it's not even. Thank you.
You used to drive you crazy. Now you super appreciate it. Which is it, lady?
It's one of those things where, like, it's really annoying in the beginning, and then you're like, oh, it's kind of endearing. But, yeah, I do sit there and go, yeah, it is. There is a part of me. But, see, that one is an even number, so it's less obnoxious than an odd number.
I like it when they do prime numbers.
It's because you're broken.
Yep.
Thank you so much, Terry. Bing, bada, ding, bing. Have a great night. Have a great sleep, and be safe.
Or when they keep it on the golden curve.
I don't even know what that means.
I know it's math. I just keep you around because you like arm candy. And you haven't murdered me yet.
He's not meaning to imply that women aren't good at math. He's just meaning to imply that
This
not
one isn't
good at math, but I'm excellent.
It's
at
funny
some
if you put a dollar symbol in front of it, all of a sudden it makes sense to her, and she can do all sorts of stuff. But theoretical math, no, she has no concept of theoretical math.
No, like I took like conceptual physics. Like I love science.
And she conceptualized dropping out. No.
No, I got an A in that class. You can kiss my grits.
How'd you get an A in conceptual physics, but you can't understand theoretical math?
I've spoken my piece. Move on.
I hope the newest stimulus package gets voted down. $2,000 a month for everyone over 16. Yeah, that's just expect all your rents to go up by about $2,000. Brent was asking about the 5 and 8 amp hour batteries. Last we heard it was going to be third quarter. My guess is late third quarter, early fourth quarter. Amos says, howdy everyone, how you doing?
Hey.
We're doing okay. And Ed the Old Tech Guy says, I'm uber angry. Someone just posted a live Facebook party with about 1,000 people partying at someone's house party. Can we say party in this sentence more? How can people be this inconsiderate?
Because they're young and they don't have enough life experience to realize that they're not very smart, that they don't know everything. That's a better way to say that. And that they believe that they are bulletproof and invincible and that they can dodge germs. I don't know.
Dodge germs. If you can dodge a germ, you can dodge a ball.
Yeah. So that's all I can think. I did not see that comment earlier. Will H says $3.14. Time for some pie. Thank you so much, Will. Ding, 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 ding. Mark,
Have we
what am I going to do with you?
Hold on. Have we checked in on Will? See how he's doing?
No, we haven't. How are you doing?
How are you feeling, man?
You know who I haven't seen? I haven't seen Gary.
Gary, yeah.
I don't know if anybody's heard from Gary. If they have,
Yeah, if anyone's heard from Gary, we'd love to hear
just
from him.
know that he's okay.
Him and his wife. And William. Haven't heard from William in a while either.
Yeah. Hopefully everyone's just resting because it's kind of late. Eric, thank you so much for the $9.99. It says buy subs or studio lights, whichever comes first. The super chat on iPad always does it by 99 cents. I didn't know that. That's really funny. So thank you so much. Ding, 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 ding.
PJ Kentucky comments says 50 degrees there with the windows up and nice and cool. Oh, must be nice.
Ouch.
Halon says, if you ever want to venture to Ohio, I don't. Would be glad to buy you all a drink and a cigar. Just so everyone knows, I did my time. I lived in the Southern Ohio, Northern Kentucky area for about a decade. And you know, it's not terrible. I actually kind of like it. But if I'm going to be traveling, there's lots of other places, you know, not that I wouldn't like to meet up with you. Maybe we could meet somewhere like
Where was he suggesting that we meet up?
Barbados.
Did you say Ohio?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I know Eleanor wants to go
and
to
I
Ohio.
will go to Ohio in a hot second. I am not sure if I've been to Ohio. I think I have.
Gary says, is it hot there? We made it 62 this week.
Oh, my gosh.
It was, if you saw my post, it was 118 in my car the other day, in my truck. And it's in the upper 90s, low 100s around here.
It's going to be 101 on Wednesday.
Yep.
I'm going to be hiding in the freezer.
Daughter wants to know what color is her bear. This is like a marketing question. What color is your bear?
I think it's blue, isn't it?
It's
green. Green. I couldn't see it from where I was.
And Joe Smith says, come visit Joe Smith in Walmartville.
Dale, thank you with the $5.63 super chat. Thank you so much. Ha ha ha. Bing, ding, ding, bing, 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 bing. Sorry, sometimes there's extra bings in there. They got to get out.
Barbecue 76. I went from freezing in layers of clothes a couple weeks ago to now shorts and a tank top sweating while sitting in the shade 69 degrees in less than a week is not cool. That's exactly where we're at. That is exactly what happened. And I tell people, I'm like, it goes spring here last 2 weeks.
I
2
would
weeks.
say 2 weeks is even a long estimate.
Yep.
Like it literally felt like it was like 4 days.
Yeah.
Like it was like 2 days, the weekend, and then another
Those
day.
days, like where you're driving around, the windows down, you're like, this feels fabulous. I love days like this. You get one or two of those, and then it's the window, because the windows are up with the heater on, because we're in the high desert. So it gets cold. It gets in the lower 40s, mid 30s, and then it's 90 to 100 to 120.
Do you know how to set a timer?
Yes.
Do not burn the house down.
Burning down
Okay,
the house.
turn the Griffin, go. Turn the fan on.
Rye says, had a half bottle of Sambuca, and I'm ready to go. Woohoo!
Woo.
Brian says, I know Harbor
Where are
Freight
we going?
good, better, best with 12-inch sliding compound miter saws, but the 10-inch saw's junk. It's junk. Stay away from the 10-inch saw. I know some people out there like it. I've had the 12-inch saw. I've had a couple of the 12-inch saws. I have the Hercules. I played around with the Admiral one. I owned the 10-inch one, and I hated it. I bought it because people were like, oh, you'll like it. You should try it. It's so much cheaper. I bought it. I hate that saw. Hate it.
Hey,
Is Hercules going to come out with a 10-inch version? No comment.
Halen says Mrs. Bear would love Amish country. Is that because I like pies or horses or why?
Oh, Amish country is always fun.
Why would I?
There's great little shops and stuff, and there's good food to get.
Yeah,
and,
that's what I'm thinking. Every time I think of that, I'm like, delicious food.
and nice handmade stuff.
Yep. Furniture.
Scorpion Sunday said, good evening, Bear family.
Good evening.
Michael, what's a Stargate? It's like saying, what's a Henway? About 2 pounds.
Hey, Work Pro Tools. It says, happy Sunday.
Work Pros in the
to
house.
The Den of Tools and all. Happy birthday to Mrs. DeBear. It's actually technically not my birthday.
No.
Sorry. It was very misleading. The birthday is for... Ooh, and there's a lot of glare.
Ricky.
For Ricky, daughter of Ra, and Steven's son is turning 3 tomorrow.
I got to catch up here real quick.
Yes.
I got way behind. So
That's code for shut up, lady.
yes. Scorpion says happy birthday, as she just explained. Jim says Jackson stands U.S. made Hein Werner, which is now owned by Shinfu. Unfortunately, they own the names Hein Werner, Blackhawk, Walker Marquette, and their own import. They own Blackhawk? Really? And Glenn says, I recently purchased the Jayco tire gauge inflator. Awesome tool. I really like it. I think they got a winner on that one. Now, I get a lot of people who approach me about marketing stuff. I got a company that sent me an ODB2 scanner, and I said I would review it. I'm not looking forward to it. I'm dragging my feet on it. I'm about 3 weeks behind on doing the video because there's nothing different about it than any other ODB2 Bluetooth scanner that I've ever tried. But the
Does it
Jayco
look
stuff,
pretty?
it's pretty cool. I'm going to be using it. It's essentially the same thing. If you've used the quick release valves for a grease gun, it's essentially the same thing as that, but it's a higher end version. I mean, they've got it for air tools, but the air tool one's always just like bent sheet metal clip. And I've stepped on them and bent the handle, and I've had them snap, and I just never use them. But this I like. Rotary screw air compressors. They're great. Ralph was commenting about that. They're also expensive. Terry says, is the stimulus check that's coming from Wish? Is it coming from Wish?
Because Terry just got his unemployment. He was saying the stimulus check is the one that's coming from Wish because it's taking
It must be because we haven't seen anything from it.
Yep.
And Mark says SOS and cream sliced beef is used to make it at Triton Foods. The cheese and the beef were both better before we cooked it.
It's one of those things, like, just don't watch someone make it. Just eat it. Enjoy it.
Brett says, hey, Bear family, hope you are having a blessed day. And you too, sir. We hope you all are having a very blessed day. Steve says, I get hangry sometimes. Ask daughter Raw. I'd hate to be around her if she gets hangry.
She will take
Light
that
you on
blowtorch.
fire.
Yep, that's exactly what I was thinking. I'm going to break in just for a second.
Okay.
Halen Wolf with the $5.50 super chat. It says 356 watching and only 130 likes. Come on, people. Smash that like button. Thank you so much, Halen Wolf. Bing, bada, ding, ding, bing, 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 bing. I need a new song. Thank
Doing
you.
your happy dance over there?
I am.
We should make you get up and actually dance.
Yeah, about that.
Halon says, you all should have a Pepsi sponsorship. Yeah, we should, shouldn't we?
Oh my gosh. Drop Dead Frederick, $20 super chat. Says, I just picked up the Hercules 12-inch miter saw yesterday. Love it. I had to 3D print my own shop vac adapter though. Harbor Freight seriously needs to make the bear their mascot, or at least give you something for the sales you generate for them. Well, thank you so much for the super chat. I am super glad that you were able to pick up the miter saw, and even better than picking up the miter saw, that you love it. Like,
Yeah.
that is like the worst thing when you're like super excited and you go and buy something and you take it home and you're like, oh.
I think it might be, seriously, the best tool that Harbor Freight makes.
So thank you so much for Drop Dead Frederick. Ding, 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 ding. Okay. Thank you so much.
Jim Haynes says, search for U.S. made jacks also as gray and U.S. jack as others still here. Snap-on definitely never made jacks, and before the China jacks sold the Hein Werner jacks for double the money. And Michael says, got a list of things to get done Monday. Enjoy the photo. Time to snore. Good for you, man. You take care. Talk to you later. Maintenance man's in the house. How you doing, man? Hope you're both doing well. We hope you're doing well and getting back to work soon. Di says, who was asking about stuff for pellet wood? Disassembling pallets right now. Highly recommend the Q-Tech 6-inch joiner with spherical cutter head. So much easier to replace. There is one reason I would not recommend that joiner, and that's because it's not called Q-Tech anymore. They changed their name. What did they change it to? Because that is by far, if you're looking for that style of bench joiner, by far the best bang for the buck. I've looked high and low, and I'm going to find out what they've changed the name to, unless somebody else pops up with it here.
Says that you looked really thrilled with those extra bangs that I threw
The
in
hedgehog?
there.
Oh.
No.
Oh, Chris?
Oh, the hedgehog.
Hedgehogs?
The hedgehogs. Sonic said that. He also says the bear just calls it like it is, which is true. Which I will say, as his wife, he really does do that. Like, there are days where we have chats and it's like, I really don't want to hear this right now. But he is that way in life, in all things. Marriage, grocery stores.
And she's still
shopping.
married to me.
I am, but I am still married to you because I don't want a yes man.
Yeah. I'm not the person to come to and be like, does this dress make me look fat?
I'm also not the wife to be like, does this dress make me look fat?
She's not.
I'm like, mother trucker, you better like this dress. And if you don't, shut up.
Tell me I look good. You look good. Good job.
Excellent. Let's go.
All right. So they changed their name to Wahuda Tools. Same company. They changed their name. Don't know why. Great tools.
Daughter of Ross said she just turned the cakes out of the pan for tomorrow. Ricky is now trying to get them.
Smart boy.
Do you have any animals? Because I would say don't leave them out. Because we've had more than one.
I had a beagle who once licked. He couldn't quite reach the top of the counter, but his tongue could get up and over the edge, and he licked an inch-wide swath of the cake all the way down the side.
That just means it's extra good if you got one of those pieces.
Yeah.
It was pre-sampled.
The Eric says, have you or anyone in the chat have experience with Icon versus Quinn Snap Ring Pliers? I am looking to purchase new ones. Is the extra cost for the Icons worth it? Heavy home user. So I've not used the Icon ones. I know people who have them. They say they like them. I have the Quinn ones, and I think they're excellent. The reason to get the Icon is because you use snap rings so much, you want to be able to grab the one you need and not have to change the what is it called? They call it the needles, the teeth, whatever, the adapter, the snappy part. I don't know what is the term for snap ring, the fangs. I don't know. I never even considered what those are called. And so anyway, that's what I said to begin with, but then I realized I'd never really thought about it. So I was just being honest.
Don't question yourself. Just go with the first.
So anyway, I have the Quinn ones. I think they're excellent. If you don't mind changing them out, they're a definite cost savings, and I don't think you'll have any problem with it. They are pretty much identical to ones that are sold by many other premium level companies. So that's my 2 cents. If anybody else wants to chime in and tell me I'm wrong, I would appreciate it.
Steven said that I just got the look. Or wait, maybe you meant Daughter of Ra. Maybe you meant Daughter of Ra, because she made a comment about the only animals in the house were Ricky and Steven. Never mind. I'm going to just assume that the look was Daughter of Ra.
Jennifer Whitewolf is talking blasphemy. She said you can make white gravy with arrowroot instead of flour to reduce the carb and go zero gluten.
Well, and I was thinking about like almond flour.
I hear you can use chalk too. It's just as tasty.
You know what? Don't knock it till you try it. I will have to try some alternate flour and see how it goes. And actually, now that you say that, I have arrowroot Ta-da!
Of course you do. Probably have patchouli oil too.
No,
Freshly
I do not have
squeezed.
any patchouli oil of any kind. Nope. I was abused as a child by patchouli, and we are not friends.
It's one
It
thing I
is
do
not
relish is
welcome.
I know for a fact there will never be any carob in our house.
There actually is carob in our house, but I don't pretend that it's chocolate. When I was growing up, that was attempted to be passed
Why
off.
is there carob in our house?
Because it works in some protein
No,
bites
I don't
that
want to know.
I make
I don't want to know.
that you've eaten and didn't have.
Fred,
in
it's
my
not a
house.
gun, it's a broomstick. True, quite true.
Mm-hmm.
Dusty says, I want a lathe so bad, but it scares me more than any other tool. Have you ever used a spring compressor for a shock absorber? Because that scares me more than any other tool. And I get you about the lathe. Go and watch the videos about the people turning like 10-foot wide lathes of wood and stuff. It's insane. It's hot spinning death. But no, compressing suspensions, that scared. That there's so much potential energy. Oh my gosh.
I know that we're trying to catch up, but Bear One just said something that literally almost had me fall out of the chair
What's that?
more than normal. He says, at the Den of Tools, is there a name for the place that you put the gas pump nozzle into the car? Me and Mom call it the gas hole. What do you call that? And I realize I literally have never tried to describe that to someone.
Gas tank?
I know, I would say like the gas tank.
Put it in the
but
tank.
There has to be like gasket. No.
Yeah, because it's the gas cap.
No, I was saying gas. Like I was
I know, but what do you put in it?
gas.
When you close it, what do you close it with?
Well, mine doesn't have one, but a gas cap.
You people with your Italian vehicles.
You European snutbags. I'm pointing at you.
I know. It's funny. I've always wanted to own a nice, small, hot little Italian car, and I never thought it'd be a Jeep.
Will H is suggesting gas filler tube. Groovejet says fuel filler cap. Sonic says gas hole. Okay, now I have to say, the next time we all get gas, we're all going to think to
Standing there
ourselves,
staring at you.
that's the gas hole.
Daughter
Filler
Ross,
neck?
sorry. Daughter Ross says, "Okay, I need to borrow Steve for 5 minutes. Brain's done pickling. You be pickling the brain or done? Okay." Dale says, "Nice toolbox behind you, Silver Bell. So you're snowbirds." Yes, yes, I am. I grew up in the Midwest mostly. I did my time around snow. I tried to avoid it as much as well. She's trying to talk me into going back and doing a couple more winters up north. I told her I'd be willing to entertain the idea at some point. I'm not sure when. I think she's trying to aim for this year. I don't think so.
Fuel receptacle.
That's probably right. Dennis Toolbox says, I left you a link in the last live stream in the chat you might want to watch. I'm not sure which one it was.
I thought he said other channel, so I thought it would have been Friday morning. But
Was it the one about the open mic thing? Because if it was, I saw that. Somebody left me something about that. And Brent says, did you hear any... We talked about the batteries. Ricky says, if some Snap-on electronics tools are made in China, why is it so expensive? Because there's the name Snap-on on it, and they think that, and they're right, that most people don't know enough to question about where they're made. I've had people, and there are people on here who've seen me comment in Facebook groups where people are like, I love my tools, I only buy American made, and I post a link saying, sorry, dude, that just so you know, that's made in China. And here's the link to Snap-on saying it's made in China. And they yell at me and they get mad at me and they're like, this dude should get banned. You should kick him from the group. If you don't kick him from the group, I'm going to leave. And I'm like, it's my fault. You were stupid enough to think this tool was made in the U.S. and that they lied to you. And you want to, yeah. Anyway.
fuel filler inlet or the fuel filler neck? Filler neck is what Jeep Adventures and somebody else who sounds like they know what they're talking about.
I think it's called the Garbler. Pretty sure. It's a technical term. Comes from the engineering. Barbecue 76 says 6:55, Miss Bear. Don't read ahead and cheat on this one.
7:25.
Got to
So
catch up. You
half
got to
an
be quiet.
hour.
Quiet time for you.
That's right.
Matthew says you can use a lathe as a learning tool for the Cubs.
No, we don't want them to learn without
Yeah.
fingers
Jim
or eyeballs.
Jim Haynes says SK Club Sock of the Month. You choose from a few hundred choices and free shipping. Yeah, that sounds. I've thought about doing that. It seems pretty cool. Don says can't say enough regarding the Harbor Freight Braun 4-foot hanging LED shop light. Bought 5 on sale for $20 each. 3 in the shed, 2 in the back. They're decent. I mean, they're not bad at all. I've got one right there. I've got 3 other ones. Got ones at the other house. The Jehu says, "My bad. Knowing is half the battle." I love that saying. And don't feel bad, man. It's a stupid rule, but it's their game, and we just got to play by their stupid rules. Grimute says, "I used Herc today, and immediately after getting it all together, I loved it." That's awesome. T-Garl says, "Hello, 10 power tools every handy bear around the house needs to own." That's a good idea. If like around the house, I was thinking about doing like the basic DIY power tools and stuff like that. In fact, I was kind of going to cover that because I was going to talk about like my favorite DIY brands. Buffering. We're talking about the buffering because we're behind. I know. I'm trying to catch up, but you keep interrupting me. See, now you're going to interrupt me again.
I am.
I recommend jumping on a trampoline while doing the show to improve your streaming.
Mark, you have interesting comments.
I have to bite my tongue because there's a joke about trampolines that I will get in a lot of trouble
Demonetized by his wife. Yes. That's a real thing that could happen to you too.
I am less afraid of you demonetizing me and more afraid of the other things you'll do to me.
Barbecue 76, 1076, super chat says, "My wife has commented about some annoying bing to the bing she hears inside. She was just in the garage during a super chat and said, 'Oh, so she's the one doing that. No bing, but a bing for that one, for this one.'"
Oh,
Okay,
she's
so
got the best. She picked it up. She was ready to go.
We're just gonna leave the bing, but a bings. We're gonna okay.
Put it down.
I'm gonna
Put
put
it down. Step
I'm gonna
away.
put it down and step
Thank
away.
you, Mr. Barbecue 76.
Sorry about annoying your wife. Sorry, Mrs. Barbecue 76. Have a great night. Thank you for sharing barbecue pictures with us.
Hey, and as Gramute says, use @DenTools if you want us to see it. Yeah, we only read the comments that say that. They show up as like right above my head here. You see how it's this big orange blurb? It actually shows up in the chat like that to me. So I know you're talking to us and not just chatting amongst yourself. Zephiel says, "Last negotiation was over 5 gallons of return paint. They wouldn't take my offer, so I said, well, have fun cleaning up the leaking bucket. Could see the instant regret in their eyes." And also, guys and gals, you don't have to repeat your comments. I will get there. We just get a little behind, so.
I told them to do that earlier
Oh.
at the very beginning.
Well, they just repeated it a couple times. Scorpion Sunday says up to 60 subs, 40 till Magic 100. And Fred Hill says, "I can't believe what the owner of Facebook, Mark, is doing. Sorry, piece of you know what." Oh, he. You know what? I don't honestly. I mean, I don't know the guy personally, but I've worked around him. I've worked with people at Facebook who know him. I don't really think this is his choice. I think he's being controlled by people with. Hello.
Hi.
Whipping me with your hair over there.
Well, it's driving me crazy.
Basically, it's kind of what they did to YouTube also, which is they got too much power, they got too much influence, and so people who control the government, who've been longer players at this game, came in and said, "Here's what we're going to do. We're gonna kneecap you, and constantly, and use the power of the government to all but shut you down if you don't conform to our plans." And both YouTube and I think the guys who run YouTube, they very much are those kind of people who they're like, "Sure, we'd love to play that game." Mark Zuckerberg is more of the, I think he's more like libertarian when it comes to that sort of thing. let's see here. Robert says, headed out, been cutting trees all weekend with the chainsaw. Tired and back is sore now. Not as easy it was as it was 10 years ago. Ed the Old Tech Guy says, have you ever tried Vaughn hammers made in the USA right here in Illinois? They are awesome. I've held them. I've never used one, never driven a nail with one. I've heard good things about them. They're kind of unique looking. They seem fine.
Good night, Jay.
Good night.
He's going to go fix machines tomorrow. Say good night
for
to
him.
Jake, too.
Scott says Grizzly had a store in Central PA. Since it closed down, they are west and midwest. Great for hardcore woodworking. They're northwest and west because they're way up like in Washington. And, you know, the west is a big place. So getting up to them is next to impossible. Mike says, I'm having my niece do measuring and marking because she's in that part of her school math homework. I figure hands-on is the best way to help her understand what she's learning. That is for sure.
Yeah.
That is definitely the best way.
And especially, you know, I also find that that is an excellent tool if they're having trouble. Because some kids just don't learn by looking at it in a book. Sometimes you have to make it real. Like with division, take a whole pie and cut it in half.
Wes says that, she says, Miss Bear, I'm an RN of 20 years, can calculate IV drug rates in my head. Couldn't get past one day of calculus. You're not alone.
Thank you so much for your 20 years of service.
Ray says, hi ho, Jeff and the wifey. Hey, how's it going, Ray?
Hi.
And let's see here. Fred Hill says, what are you talking about? The new Bauer batteries and power tools? They'd asked about the new batteries, the higher output, longer like the 5 and 8 amp hour. They're not supposed to come out until second half of the year. Frank says, wow, a new stimulus that 16-year-olders get. Is it 15 and younger that will have to pay for it? Yeah. Shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. Don't cross that line sitting so close. Yeah. Yeah. And Joe Smith says, Jesse King, it's called the Dunning-Kruger Effect. They're too stupid to understand that they're stupid. Yes. Yeah, when you don't know what you don't know, because there's no way for you to know it. Brad's Workbench in the house.
Yes.
And my chat just jumped on me because I'm so far behind. And am I that far behind? Wow. I'm so far behind that when it jumped, it didn't even let me go back to where it was.
No, I think that that's way old.
What warranty on Quinn tools, John asked, is lifetime. And Fred says Denver will be 70s all week, 30s at night. We had a foot of snow last week. Oh, my gosh. Logan's Creation says, so you're listening to the Talking Heads. Do you listen to music in the shop, or is it a distraction? I do listen to music in the shop. I also listen to audiobooks.
Lots and lots of audiobooks.
Jan says knee-high makes a peach soda.
Seriously, if you had like a wish list, that's what I would put on it.
What's that?
Audiobook stuff. Like a gift certificate to...
Oh, to Audible?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been a platinum member for years, and I just, due to budget cuts at home, I just gave up my membership, and it's killing me.
I'm sorry, baby.
Bear, what's your thoughts on some of these governors who I feel are out of control? I'm always for freedom, man. I'm a constitutionalist. You know, it's like when you share a house or an apartment or something when you're young. You create a set of rules. You live by those rules. Somebody steps outside of those rules.
And the rules are for everybody.
Yeah.
Not like I have my rules and you have your rules and
yeah,
they're different.
Some pigs are not more equal than others. So I have a real problem with that. And I'm a pretty liberal kind of person. You know, I'm liberal socially speaking. Like, I'm more than willing you to do whatever it is you want to do. Just don't tell me
You
I
just
have
don't
to
pay for it.
I don't have to pay for it. I don't have to sit through it. I don't have to listen to it. I don't want you to think that you doing what you do gets to change what I'm going to do. And I promise that if you don't come on my property and try to force me to do it, that we won't have a problem that will end with me burying you in the backyard. Bear One says, you're a Star Wars nerd. Who, me? Never would have pegged you for one. Oh, are you serious? Dude, I saw Star
His
Wars.
favorite movie is Dune.
Dune, yeah. But
Come
I
on.
love Star Wars. I'm not a Star Wars nerd, but I mean, I grew up with Star Wars, man. I saw the first one in theaters. I saw them all the first 3 in theaters. Do you have a 3D printer? I currently am down to 1 3D printer. BW's Electronics, Michigan, Indiana line. We've been 70 and then 35 the next day, back to 70 along with rain,
Wow.
snow. We're
I'm
saying here, if you don't
gonna
like the
pass.
weather,
Okay.
wait a few hours. Whew. Oh,
Stealing.
yeah.
I got some because they were still hot. I know you like hot.
Oh my.
Would you like me to get you some milk?
I would love that.
That's one.
Elle, do you want me to hold them so they don't steal them? Yes, I think they're stealing all of her cookies. So Princess made cookies. Can you do me a favor, Griffin?
Yes.
Can you go put some ice in this?
And Delro says the hair is now clean and darker. Oh my.
Oh, wow.
You want me to pour it out first?
Jay, who says made appliance delivery
Sure.
with Amish guys who were installing cabinets with cordless drills. I asked them if they found a loophole. I thought it was funny. They didn't. Yeah, the Amish aren't known for great sense of humor. I mean, there's different groups of Amish as far as
Yes, that
What they-
adhere to
what-
different
yeah.
standards.
because like isn't Amana made by Amish? And they make radar ranges and stuff.
Don't know. Well, I think the difference is that they choose not to use technology
Mm-hmm.
in certain
Not
kinds.
too many cookies.
Okay. But they're not against technology existing. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, but they don't generally use it themselves.
Yes. And I'm also not an expert, so feel free to tell me that I'm wrong. Thank you.
Fred says they get their STEM payment. Jeff says hello from Los Angeles. Slow opening in Montana. Next 2 weeks. Almost time to come up. We'll be there before then.
Wait, what did he say about Montana?
Slow opening.
Slow opening. Okay. I heard snow opening. I'm like, what does that mean?
There's gonna be snow when we go.
Really?
We're going to see snow, I'm sure, on the way, and there's always snow. We can travel to snow if it's not in town.
Joe Smith says, Joe got raw angry once. His backside is still sore from the blowtorch.
What?
Brad comments, the best tool that Harbor Freight makes is the cowbell.
Sure. Well, have you had one?
Them.
No. You
What
can
about-
have one?
But Brad,
Yes.
what about the
you can have one.
anti-cowbell earplugs? No, he's vegan.
Yes.
Okay, you have stuff in your beard, honey.
That's what
You were
beards are
saving
for.
that for later.
Can't wait for next week. Well, Halon says, because I got a fever that can only be cured by more cowbell.
Yep.
Donna Russ has just turned the cakes out of the pan. Ricky's now going for them. And the old tech guy says, I have the Chicago Electric 10-inch miter saw. It isn't the best, but I ended up liking it for a chop saw and basic cuts. I can see if you leave it in a locked position using it for basic cuts, I could see it being okay for that.
I don't want to hold this, honey. I love
I'm
you.
going to eat this.
That's fine. I'm choosing not to eat any.
I'm choosing to take a bullet for you.
I appreciate that you just jumped in front of that and you're gonna, I get it.
Why don't you read some comments while I make poor
Um,
life choices?
Mrs. DeBear said, Michael says, Mrs. DeBear, you're wrong. Thank you. See, I appreciate that. When he says it, not when you say it. It's different. Jeff thought he was gonna like totally win a prize or something. Nope, not the same. Groovejet says there's a program on TV in the UK called Amish Mafia. It's based in the US, full of lunatics.
Oh, I've seen that.
Yes, I think I've seen it too. There's also one where these Amish kids, I call them kids, they're young adults, go into the modeling
Rhinestocking or-
business
oh, that.
or something. Hey, princess.
Oh, she can't be on camera.
You're okay. Jay Who says, going to make a PB&J and then sleep time. Good night, everyone. Good night. Have a wonderful night.
Donna Russ says Ricky is the only animal aside from Steve in the house.
Yeah, and I think that's how he got the eye when she gave him the look. Kyle J says, at GrooveJet, it's all fake. I'm pretty sure most of television is all fake.
Yeah. So, okay, catching up here. Nope. Bye, Felicia. Nice jacket or nice shirt. Jay Who says Jay Who? Jay Tools? What? Steven says she just got the look. Jim Haynes says tips, tricks, chain. Anyway, let's see here. Bear One says, is there a name for the place? We talked about that conversation. And let's see here. Opinion on the Admiral Miter Saw blade 10-inch. I've not used it. I've seen the 12-inch being used. I've talked to people who have it. But I've not seen... Sorry, I've not seen it being used. Usually it's generally considered to be a middle of the road kind of blade. I like the Hercules stuff. The Hercules blade, I would put it on par with the base Irwin and Diablo stuff. So I would say base Diablo. I'm talking like the regular standard stuff, not the was it Freud or whatever. Riley says, "Don't feed the bears." Literally, it says it on the sign.
Yep. I
Eleanor,
love that sign.
did
It
you not
is
listen
so
to him?
cute.
Says it right on the sign.
Sorry.
Quorum's like, but I love coconuts and pumpkin. Yeah, we're not going to get to see Quorum, at least not right away.
Huh.
Or Quam's like, where are my parents, bro?
That's right.
Sonic asked if they closed the broomstick stores out here. You stocked up in rounds. I'm way stocked up. We never let our supply get too low. We got enough that we
We're
shouldn't
good.
have to buy it for another 5 years. And yeah, they're still open. We talked to the Admiral. It's your Joe Smith says Work Pro Tools wants to sponsor After Dark with Joe Smith? ? The #1 hit live show. There you go. Sorry. Filler neck, gas neck, we talked about that. Eric says, thanks for the info on the snap ring pliers. The technical name for pins is pins. That's what they're known. Yeah, I knew that. For the different interchangeable parts in the snap ring pliers, by the way, it's called gas filler neck. If you're trying to thicken a sauce, depending on the sauce, you can add a little butter and then reduce the sauce. You can probably also use, what are those seeds? The little tiny chia seeds. Sean G says, stick strut in press. Use the snap ring compressor to hold it. It's a lot less sketchy. Yeah, probably.
If you were Quorum's parents, then does that mean Quorum like brother?
Yeah, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, we're talking about the power holes. The Homesumer spring compressors are janky, and I use them just as scary as shooting someone else's hand loads. Yeah, you won't. No, like I loaded this. Nope, you put it in yours. I'm not playing with that. Garrett says, I once jokingly made fun of Icon on Facebook and you jumped on me. I forgive you, though. I don't know, if you were joking about it, I'm really sorry. But if, there's a lot of people on there who spread a lot of untruths because they think it makes themselves cool. And I don't, and today I was defending Snap-on. Somebody was saying that all Snap-on cabinets are actually made in China. I'm like, no, or made in Taiwan. I'm like, no, they're not. Frank says, I would like to see a cordless 12-volt comparison video. I am actually working on that because we came up with a conversation the other day about what 12 volts might be good for DIY use because they're getting so robust.
Bear One says, I'm questioning the family friendliness of the Little Miss Bear's shirt. HE double hockey sticks is okay now. Well, in her defense, it's HE double hockey sticks A. And it's a colloquialism from where I grew up in Oakland
And where we lived.
and where we lived. So, yes, I would defend that with the friendliness. It's not the hot place.
Yeah, our version of family friendly is PG. We're not Disney here, and but we try to have a reasonable amount of back and forth where people can express themselves, but do so in a meaningful way, but without having to resort to full profanities. But yeah. The hella thing, that's a California-ism across the board. You'll get all sorts of people using that.
Yeah.
I use it all the time, unfortunately. Um,
Although I did grow up with people in the neighborhood whose parents made them say hecka.
Jennifer says the SOS was fantastic. And Fred says, I loved working on a wood lathe.
I'm like mesmerized. I could like watch it.
Yeah, it's
How
really
people,
cool.
like tune into like ASMR.
Yep.
Like for me, I just like to watch them.
Well, that's like watching, why can't I never remember his name? The guy who does the metalworking stuff.
Which
I
guy?
like the machinist dude. Anyway, doesn't matter which one. Any machinist. You know what I love watching? I love watching the not lathes. Boy, my brain is fried today. The one that just goes straight back and forth and scrapes it.
Planer?
No, it's a metalworking tool.
Oh,
Somebody remind me of it. Fred says never used a metal lathe. PJ Kentucky says, what's the story about the fancy painted adjustable wrench? I don't know. Someone sent it to me. Said they thought I think it was cool. I thought it was cool. I thought I'd share it. With you guys talking about food, I got so hungry. What did I miss? It happens.
what did you eat, Michael?
Fred says your other bell is at your Montana home. The cowbell is. We left it in Montana.
Yeah.
I see it jumped on me again there.
Riley says his dad is from Oakland. I'm assuming Riley is a gentleman. If I'm incorrect, please correct me. Yes.
Liftoff says nice Shawshank reference in your Hammers video. It's one of my favorite movies. Not really a Stephen King fan, but that movie I love. Jay says, good night. Oh, I got to fix machines. Junior says, who makes a good reasonably priced torque wrench? Harbor Freight does. Tecton makes one. Gear Wrench makes one. Who else? Trying to think who else makes a good one. Reasonably priced. Cobalt has one. Barbecue 76 says, LL, it's good. She's not mad. She just figured out what she was hearing. Yeah, it's the loudest part of your live stream. I know that. I've had moments like that going, what is that? Where's that sound coming from? Oh.
Yep. Princess Jamie with the
Princess
201
Jamie.
super chat. Thank you so much. Ding, 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 ding. Thank you so much. It's
please-
a shaper.
Shaper, that's it.
It
Shaper.
was Smedley Dog 1. told
Thank
us
you,
that.
Schmedley. The shapers are just, I don't know, something about them, man. The way they take these huge, long peels of metal, and you can see the big ones work, like the old Cincinnati ones. Those things are massive. They're the size of a medium-sized truck, and they will take a quarter inch of metal off at a time, just of hardened metal. It's amazing.
I'm sorry, I have to stop for a second. Brad's Workbench just said, tell Mrs. DeBear I have a wood turning channel called Rated R Wood Turning, and it's just me turning turning to machine sounds or music. Interesting. I will have to check that out.
The Kyle says, please tell Ed, the tech guy, to stop spamming the conversations. Kyle, all he's doing is,
He's encouraging folks to.
Yeah, he's one of the moderators here, and he's just putting out information so that people know about it. If you don't like it, you don't have to read it. You're right. YouTube, Facebook, and Google, all the social media channels. They're all based out of the same location, running on the same playbook, and they're either willing participants or have been co-opted unwillingly through use of threat of legislation. I mean, think about it. They pulled Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg himself, up in front of Congress and basically held his feet to the fire and said, we'll keep doing this unless you're going to play ball. And we'll do it long enough until a competitor catches up to you, and we'll support them and not you. And that's, if you've ever read Ayn Rand and Atlas Shrugged, it's exactly the same playbook that they were talking about. That's what people have done for years. If you can't outclass somebody, you get your cronies together and you force them to do it. Rob sees, what's up with your feud with Redemption Garage? I'm on your team, but just watched one of his videos and he was trashing you. What's that all about?
Someone else already sort of talked about the fact that
his
we
channel
don't really have a beef.
His channel was dying, and he decided that he's one of these guys who almost made it as a YouTuber, and one of the ways to become popular again is to start a feud or something, and he's hoping that I'll start some big online thing with him and make him relevant again.
Yeah. Brad's Workbench. Do not listen to Bear One. He's trying to make me throw up. He was giving him some cinematic suggestions for the lathe.
Yeah. Bear says he has a Vaughn hammer and crowbar. He likes them a lot. Fred says, got to go take my PM meds. I'll be right back. Barbecue 76 says, I bought the Harbor Freight pressure washer, not expecting much even after seeing your vid. Now I've used it a few times and can make a recommendation. Save some money and buy a nozzle for the hose. Yes.
Yeah. And the old tech guy with the $5 super chat. He said, sorry guys, I may have sent too many chats about the store. I'm just excited about your store. Ed, you don't have to be sorry. I super appreciate you sharing your love of the store.
No, and the only reason I read the comment was because they commented, and I'm not trying to edit people and hide stuff. We really appreciate that you do that and you support the channel like that.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ed. Bing, 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 bing.
Antonio says, hey, Jesse and Jeff. Hey, Antonio. How you doing, man?
Hey.
Mike Schmidt says, when did you say you're leaving for Montana? Probably this week. Later in the week.
Yeah.
And it all depends on how much we get packed up and how, we get type of things. But
Stop looking at me when you say that.
Yeah. Trent says, Makita customer service, all hat, no cattle. Trent is not a fan of Makita customer service and like to let you know that he feels they're trash. I don't agree with him, but Trent is welcome to his opinion here, as long as anybody's polite, and you can disagree with me all you want. We can have a conversation about it.
Absolutely. Princess Jamie, I know you said you were having some issues with your internet. Yes, your super chat did go through, and I did bing for you, but I will bing again. Bing, bing, bing. Thank you so much for your super chat. I think it was 201.
Let's see here. Kyle says, I think you're thinking of the Amana colonies. I am, and if I'm not mistaken, that's where Amana came from.
Yes, somebody else comments about that.
Eventually, so I used to live not too far from there, and Amana colonies in Iowa. And my understanding is they're the ones who started the appliance company. It was eventually sold, but I don't think they made them with hand tools. Also, the quote is, pray I don't alter it any further, not pray I don't alter the deal any further. So that's how you get put in timeout here. We're going to put him in timeout.
DB Flyboy 917 said it was 70 and sunny in Montana. Today. Beautiful day. I cannot speak English today.
Frank says some Amish work on wood travel trailers cabinets in Indiana. They do. In case you didn't know it, pretty much you have a good chance that if you have a trailer or an RV, that it was made in Indiana. Something about Indiana, man. There's a lot of RVs and trailers made in Indiana. Sonic, I put my pant legs on one leg at a time. The only difference is when I put my pants on, I make gold records. I love that. That's from the more cowbell thing. Jefferson says, speaking of tools, who makes the ding ding bell, and can you review a number of brands of them? Price
Why, yes,
versus
we
ding
can. Please
versus
feel free to
value.
send more bells.
I don't look on the bottom. Who makes that? Somebody sent, one of the viewers sent it to us, and it came in a plain white box.
It does not. Yes, it's very. I think that they may have actually stolen this from like a Chinese restaurant. It has no markings whatsoever. Maybe a doctor's office. I don't know where this came from. I do remember who sent it, but I'm not going to mention. But
Rob says, should I go with a 72-inch or 56-inch U.S. General box?
wow.
Go with the biggest box that you can reasonably afford that will fit in the area to which you need it. Because I've never seen somebody do that and be like, wow, I should have bought the smaller box. But I've seen lots of people fill it up and go, oh,
I should have got the bigger one.
I need more box. We should have bought a bigger boat. What's your opinion on the Harbor Freight trim router? I have the Bosch, but I put one of those 2 hand plates on it. I'm thinking about buying another one for times I don't need the plate. So I have it. I don't do a lot of routing. I'm trying to compare it versus, I have the DeWalt one that's really popular. That's about the same size and everything. I'm trying to compare it against that. Probably not going to get a video done of it up until we get up into Montana. So far, I'm fairly impressed with it, but I need more time on it before I can really say anything. Scorpion says that he used to tutor algebra and trig.
Cool.
And Ed the Tech Guy says you should make masks with the bear logo signed and sell them on your website. We thought about that, but because she was getting into making masks, but I don't know. It just seems a bit much. And Western Forge is closing. Ideal moved some tools back to Illinois, but the rest are going away. So I know they closed one of their factories. Yeah, I think it's the one in Colorado. And I heard that they did other tools as well, but I also heard from a source that it was that basically it'd been on life support ever since Stanley Black & Decker had bought Craftsman and moved all the rest of Craftsman's production overseas so they could bring it back. I always love that. And that's the reason they closed. Ed the Tech Guy, Baby Bear Girl, hello. Are you teaching her how to use tools? I do teach her how to use tools. She likes to listen. She likes to do stuff with Dad. She's not like super into tools, but she does ask from time to time.
Grant Van Riesen. Did I pronounce the last name correctly? It's a $1.99 super chat, but it says $50. Is it like when I used to work for an online business?
Is it a coupon?
And somebody once faxed us cash, like a picture of their cash. So either way, I super appreciate the super chat, and I will...
It's the thought that counts.
Yes, exactly. Bing, 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 bing.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The Scott asks, opinion on Harbor Freight swivel impact sockets. I've never used their swivel impact sockets. I've used their impact sockets. I've known lots of people who use the impact sockets and like them quite a bit. I can't say anything about the swivel impacts other than to maybe guess that because the regular impacts are decent. I don't know. If somebody's used them, let me know. What do you think of the Avante saw blades? I have not used them. And I don't know anybody who hasn't. No one's talked to me about them, so I can't really say. Was it? I don't know. What do you recommend for a home use miter saw? Is the Chicago Electric 12-inch good enough for woodworking and cutting flooring, or is it upgradable to a DeWalt or Metabo better? For basic entry-level stuff, it is. Here's the thing. Buy it, get it home, set it up, get it all checked, and check it for square. Do everything you can to make sure it's square. If it isn't square, you're not going to be able to fix it. Take it back. Get another one.
Are we talking about this?
No, we're talking about the Chicago Electric 12-inch sliding miter saw.
Okay.
This is a table.
I know we had some issues when we put it together.
Yeah, this thing
Not
sure
being
wasn't square when we
completely
put it
square.
together.
That's why
That was all sorts of fun. That said, if you've got the budget to upgrade, I definitely recommend the Hercules. The Hercules is on par with the DeWalt DWS 780. It's got all the same features, the same power and everything else, but it's people try to say the 779 is the same. It's not. Go look in the parts department for DeWalt. You'll see they're not the same internal parts. Metabo makes a great saw, but it's pretty pricey.
Oh my gosh. Grant Van Riesen.
Oh, wow.
Holy guacamole. $49.99. And I don't know how you got the pair to do that on the Rocket, but that's amazing.
Apparently that's only available for the Premier package there.
You're making
I
my
was
super
sorry, I was
chat
scrolling
go
up because
somewhere.
I was making sure he's the one who did the.
Yes, he is.
I guess
Thank
making it
you
real.
so much. We super appreciate the super
Thank you.
chat. And I again love your little pair. Thank you so much. I don't even have words. I do have a little ding ding and a dance.
Oh, wait. She's going to go crazy on this one.
I'm also going to move the microphone so I don't like knock everything off the table. Oh, what's up, Data?
It's like that.
Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, that was rude.
Thank you. That was special.
knew
It
I was taking it off.
$49.99.
You knew I was taking
Thank you so much. We super appreciate. I keep saying like we're in this together.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Princess Jamie says, hello, late to the party. Actually, it's just, hello, fashionably late. Joe Smith says, some Amana products were once made in the Amana colonies in Iowa. In 1965, Raytheon bought the company. In 1997, Amana was purchased by Goodwin Global Parts of Dakin, North America. Bear One says, I'm questioning my family's friendliness. Oh, yeah, we talked about the shirt. Yeah. Barbecue 76, I leveled and balanced, and my screen jumped on me.
Yes, I got excited about Michael Glazer's $3 super chat. Peanut butter with melted butter and honey. That sounds delicious. Now, my question is that on bread, or did you just like scoop it up and just have it like that? Don't know for keto. Don't know.
That actually sounds kind of good.
It does. So.
And I'm not a huge fan of honey.
Thank you so much, Michael. Ding, 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 ding.
Bing, bing.
Bing, bing. And William Trent, welcome to the Den of Tools.
William Trent, new member, Den of Tools. Thank you, sir, for signing up.
Thank you.
So Barbecue 76 says, I've leveled and balanced a lot of appliances in my time. It's not hard. However, the freaking washing machine I'm sitting next to refuses to cooperate and it's chattering away.
Clattering. There's
clattering.
no in there.
Whatever. I've had that happen too. I know this thing's going to work, but it's pissing me off as it rocks and clatters in my cave. Can I say schmuck? I say schmuck all the time.
Yes.
You look comfy in that t-shirt, Jesse.
You know what? This is actually
I
one
love
of
it.
my like super comfiest shirts. Sadly, well, there's something over it, but right here, I volunteer at the kids' school, and part of that is you have to wear like a little name badge that at this particular school is adhesive, not like at the last school where it was actually a badge. And someone forgets to take it off a lot, and I washed it with it on there.
And I tell her to take it off when she gets home, and she goes, I don't have to listen to you.
That's exactly what I say.
How'd that work out for you?
This is also known as Karma.
What's it say in the shirt?
It says Bearzilla Apparel. We are not affiliated in any way, shape, or form.
I don't
with
believe it
Bearzilla.
says Bearzilla.
Doesn't it?
It would need to have a Z in it.
What does it say?
B-E-A-R. You have to lean the... Barilla.
Barilla. See, I thought there was.
It's
Z in
like
it.
Gorilla, but it's a Barilla apparel. There's no Z.
Whatever. Reading is fundamental. Sometimes I add Z's. I don't know the name of the shirt that I'm wearing. Barilla.
Hold on. I got to catch up. Halon says,
no.
what? What?
Elon Wolf just
Oh
did
my
a super
gosh.
chat.
Okay.
$5 super chat. Says, hey, Jeff, what is the web extension for price matching you use in your Details of the Week video? Ding, 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 ding. Thank you, Halen Wolf.
For one small $5,000 super chat, I will tell you. No. Go over to my good friend Clint runs, what do you call it? Harbor Freight Coupon Database. Go to Harbor Freight, hfqbdb.com. And right on the front page, he's got a link there for the Chrome plugin. But what you have to remember though is that it is user moderated. So users upload the coupons, not him. And he goes through and he checks them every so often, but some of them slip by. That's why sometimes in my videos, you'll see, like, I'll be going through something and you'll see, like, the coupon's $1.99. Well, like, the coupon's probably like $1.99 off or something like that. Or somebody's typed in a typo, like it's supposed to be $19.99 or $199.99. So that's why you see those ridiculous coupons. But it is very useful in going through and seeing what the real sale value on the tool is in most cases.
Michael Glazer, thank you for the $2 super chat. I used bread to scoop out the mixture.
That
So
sounds tasty.
I don't want you to do another super chat because I feel sad. I mean, not sad, but I feel like you're doing a super chat so I can see what you said. But my question is, do you put the mixture like in a jar? Do you do like honey, peanut butter?
Like, can you
and
make it
butter?
ahead of time,
Like,
or do you have to
yeah.
heat it up and eat it right then?
And
Because she's willing to do that.
right. I am a foodie and I'm a total foodie nerd. So that's why I'm asking. But thank you for the super chat. $2 super chat. I used bread to scoop out the mixture. Bing, 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 bing.
Okay, you got to really let me catch
Yes,
up now.
I know.
Halen says, let the girls say, hell, it's 2020. We're getting mad for calling certain viruses by certain names. Yeah, that's why I call it the Wuhan. Riley says, my dad is also from Oakland. You okay there, little lady? Groove Jep says, Shaper Machine. Barbecue 76 says, I think you're thinking of a mill. No, mills spin. This thing just literally, it's like, think of Hawaiian shaved ice for metal. It's kind of like that.
Okay, my eyes hurt thinking about that because I
Yeah.
just think one of those is going to get in my eyeball.
Yeah. It doesn't give chips. It gives big, long, curly, they're beautiful
Yep,
shavings.
curly, yeah.
Fred Hill says, Bear, I heard today that Jeep Wrangler and Gladiator for 2021 will be coming out with an option for Hemi V8. Don't know how big it will be. Oh, Hemi. No, I want the big, solid inline six, man. But I do like the idea of the Hemi. I like the Hemi in my truck. So, Brad's Workbench says, tell Mrs. Bear I have a wood turning channel called Rated R Turning.
I read that.
That's just me turning the machines. Nice. Groove just says, I used to be a turner machinist. Fred says, in NYC, they have a Hell's Kitchen. We have one on the strip. They just opened up, what's his name? It has the TV show called Hell's Kitchen. He just opened up one down here. I want to go in there and order like a burger and then throw it back into the kitchen and tell them this stuff is, CRAP, I wouldn't serve this to a dog. I'm like, he does that on the video. We get to do that, right?
No.
I did not know. Says recommendations on reasonably priced but good dual miter saw. The what do you call it? The Admiral is probably the best reasonably priced miter saw when it's on sale for about $170. Cobalt one is probably second to that. Other than that, you start jumping up in price. November Romero says, hey Bears, just a reminder, I sent an email last week regarding the HVAC refrigerant tester. Hope you're all well. And I sent an email to the Chinese company that was contacting me, and I have not heard back from them. And Princess Jamie says, did my super chat go through? It did, and
and it's because I read it because she was concerned, so I wanted to make sure that she knew.
What's your recommendation for a good workbench for under $1,000? I never pay anything like that. If I'm gonna spend that much on a workbench,
I was
probably gonna build a custom
workbench.
workbench.
Send us $1,000. We will send you a workbench.
I know there are some really high-end woodworking benches. I'm gonna be clear. I am not a woodworker. I sometimes work with wood, but Brad's workbench. He's more of a woodworker. There's some serious woodworking channels. I'm more of I can do anything I set my mind to kind of person. I can learn the skill, figure it out, do it. I was a carpenter. I've built houses. I am not an artisan of any sorts other than coming up with solutions. I'm almost like more of a mad inventor than I am anything else.
Michael answered my question. You melt the butter in a bowl, then you put peanut butter in it, and then you mix it up, and then you add as much honey as you want. So it could be almost.
So it's like sweet tea. How much sugar you put in it?
Yeah. I'm
until it's
thinking
sweet enough.
I could make that until it's sweet enough. I could make that, but just use something other than honey.
DB Flyboy says it was 70 and sunny in Montana today. That's what I want. I need that. Princess Jamie says, good deal. I'm at 2.3 megabyte down.
She's having internet issues.
Oh.
That's what she was telling us.
Yeah, trying to get good download speeds is hard. Getting good upload speeds, you can get that anywhere. Getting anything over 5 megabit is really difficult. Hipsters and Hippies says, if a bear smacks his thumb with a hammer and no one is around, does he still make a sound?
Yep. Sure does.
Oh, such a sound.
Yep.
I don't smack my thumb with a hammer anymore. I've done it enough times. I learned my lesson. Joe Smith and friends, Ryby is trash. They suppressed Chaka, but Joe Smith will continue the truth.
Thank you, Joe Smith. We appreciate that because we're sure that Chaka is like
Did
in a cell
Chaka send
somewhere.
you the proxy vote? David says, will they let you out of Vegas? I thought your governor walled you in. No, we don't have a stay-at-home order. They've suggested it. They've closed down stores and such, but good luck. I know all the back roads. And we have this thing called the desert. I can just drive through it.
It's wide and vast and dry.
Yep.
And nobody's just hanging out waiting for you.
Daughter Ross says, I remember I wanted to remove the cowbell and the bell.
Yes. Well, there's going to be a reunion shortly, and maybe next Sunday I'll use both at the same time. Yeah.
Past the Spider comments that Black & Decker Matrix is secret gold. I know a lot of people who absolutely love that system. It looks pretty cool, especially for home DIY kind of stuff. Michael Glazer says, at the Old Tech Guy, all you're doing is advertising for the den of tools. I think he means that in a positive way. And the Old Tech Guy, thanks everybody. I am not a spam bot.
Thank you. And the Old Tech Guy. I love that.
Fred says, my wife told me the coronavirus has exploded in Iowa, Nebraska, and New Mexico. Really? That's terrible. Speaking of making it as a YouTube, as my last vid said, what should I do? Give me ideas, and I'll try to have some fun with it. The Bear family is welcome to give the first idea.
Yeah, Barbecue 76 was basically saying, hey, if anybody in the community has ideas, but he was saying we get first dibs on the ideas.
I think you should do a cooking and barbecue tool, like how to do mods to your barbecue.
Well, and sorry, I'll let you finish and then
How
I'll say
you know,
my piece.
and the thing is, if you're going to do food stuff, you do have to get good at the camera work because people can't smell it, they can't taste it. So the only thing they're left with is seeing it. Mm-hmm. And with stuff I do, I can just show it just kind of working. It's not as much of a requirement. They want, slow pans and maybe some good music to go on. So you have to get kind of decent with the editing. Go check out Guga Foods, man. That dude he's a phenomenal cook, and he's also great at making videos. So check him out.
The other thing that I would say is, I would say basics. Like you are really great with barbecue, and that is really not a skill that I'm good at. So I would definitely be somebody that would like want to watch, a lot of those things that I know, I need to shut up, but I get 2 seconds. So be quiet. I would say sauces, rubs, things like that, but also basic stuff like
Sauce is life.
The first time you barbecue, like how long, what is the time that you should cook a steak or whatever it is that you're cooking? Just super basic things that you don't even think about.
How to tell when it's done.
Right. That would be something that I would say do a video on.
Yeah, if you could do one on fish, I'd love to hear that because I'm still not good with fish.
Yeah, that would be good.
I don't murder the fish anymore, but it's definitely not perfect every single time.
Oh, I murder the fish.
Every time.
For sure.
Mm-hmm. Carson's Exploring Channel, is Harbor Freight coming out with a coupon book this month? That's a good question. I'm not sure. Did Mrs. Bear get some masks made? Daughter Raw asks.
No. My fabric is in storage. I do have the sewing machine that I'm going to take with me. And I did find our amazing sewing kit that has like a ton more thread, different colors thread. So I am planning to do some more of that in Montana. We do have masks for everybody in the family. So it's not like
we should make some leather ones.
That would encourage scary people.
Fred says, that's like my Liberty safe. I'm sorry I didn't get the 64 broomstick safe. I had to put it in the garage. Yeah, Yeah, it's like that. I've never heard of anybody who got a safe like that and was like, I should have gotten the smaller one. Unless, of course, they bought it to put someplace and it didn't fit.
What was the one that we had?
48 gun.
Okay. That one was amazing. I realized why it could not come with us, but I still miss it every day.
She gave me grief over buying it.
Yep.
And then she took over half of it.
Yep.
And I immediately was like, I should have gotten the 72.
I would just like to acknowledge that I single-handedly pushed it down the hallway and into our bedroom all by myself.
It was on a slide I'd made out
No.
of
No, it wasn't.
cardboard. It certainly was.
Nope.
No?
Nope.
So you were trying to ruin our carpeting. Good
That's
call. Now I
called
know.
being uneducated, but I was trying to say that I was amazing.
Antonio says, Harbor Freight Impact swivel sockets have held up well for 8 years for me. There you go. Antonio, do you use them professionally? Because I think he does. Brad says, don't waste your money on Avante. And if Brad says it, I would believe it. Not that anybody likes Brad. Can't let that
We
rumor get
love
out
him.
there. We just like to give Brad a hard time
Yes.
and make everyone else confused.
Yes. They come to your rescue.
The Zafio says, I've used Avante blades. They were fine. I think I bought diamond ones for cutting masonry bricks. And the Jim Haynes says, before Stanley bought Craftsman name, Ideal was wanting payment up front, and Slick Eddie tried to force them into court to make them ship stuff, but everyone knows he was going to stiff them. Yeah, everyone, their credit rating was, you'd go into Sears and you're like, oh, I want to buy this. Like, we don't have any. We're waiting for shipments. I'm like, it's been 6 months. You're still waiting for shipments because no one will give it to them on credit.
Fred and Golfs and Guns are questioning my ability to push the safe because their safes weigh 800 pounds empty. I may or may not have given myself a hernia, but you were working really long hours and I didn't want it in my hallway anymore.
Yeah, it was in the hallway, and we had really plush carpet, and you could slide it on the carpeting. You couldn't pick it up.
Yes.
But if you get like your foot down into it and you do this little wiggle move, you could, because I moved it around. It wasn't that hard.
Get down in a squat if you're short and tiny like me, and you put your back literally
Up against the wall?
up against the safe,
Oh.
and you push backwards.
Trent says, did you hear about the guy who died in a skydiving accident? He forgot his parachute. The media reported he died of the Wuhan.
Nice.
Yeah, that, and they're apparently they're over-reporting the deaths and under-reporting how many people have it in an effort to raise the perceived mortality rate. And the old tech guy, LOL, the ear protection, that just killed me. Yeah, actually, Brad sent us, we had a cowbell before. It was a discount one we picked up at Tractor Supply. I love Tractor Supply, but the cowbell was not worth it.
Yes, not up to
And
standards.
it broke. And Brad sent us the cowbell. He sent us the cowbell protection, anti-cowbell stuff, and he sent us some other stuff too.
Yes.
Did he send us some stuff for the kids or something? He sends a whole care package. We love Brad. We do. We give him a hard time because, just kind of a thing around here. He works in the oil industry. Nobody likes oil people. They make all the money. He's well off, He's a independent millionaire. He's sitting over there going, I wish. By the way, you know what? This would be a good point. I know I'm still behind. But this would be a good time for in fact, I'm well behind, the Adopt a Mod program where you can adopt a mod. Pick one of your own favorite mods. That's anybody whose name is in blue with a wrench behind their name. And most of them are creators in their own right, such as Brad's Workbench, who is, I tease and I joke, but he's a great guy. He and I have had disagreements. We've had long conversations. I've told him my mind on it, but we're still friendly towards each other because, that's what adults can do. They can disagree about stuff.
Yep.
They can even sometimes get heated, but they come back around to it and they work it out. Jennifer White Wolf, Ed, the old tech guy. Don't forget Joe Smith and Friends, our OG mod, and his Friday night After Dark with Joe Smith. which is a great series. Antonio, all of these people, they most of them, I would say not most of them, Daughter Raw does not have any content. She has the best non-content in all of YouTube.
Yes.
But anyway, they help keep the channel going. They help answer questions. They help remind people to keep things family friendly. They help deal with trolls and people who want to spam content and stuff like that. And we really appreciate them helping out and being here and being part of the community. And we like to support the creator community as a whole. There was a time on YouTube where people liked to believe that you didn't talk about other creators because you'd lose your viewers or something. And I don't believe that's true. I believe a rising tide floats all boats. And that, so go and check out their channel. Pick one today. That's the Adopt a Mod part. Go and check one out and like one of their videos and maybe consider comment and even subscribing. Also want to say a big shout out. Thank you to everyone who's been supporting us with super chats,
Yes.
as well as our new and our past and current members. It's when I say members, that's the one with the bear behind their name. It's like Patreon. It's a monthly membership. It's built into YouTube. If you're interested, there's a link down in the description. I think there was. I tried to put it there before. Anyway, am I leaving anything out?
No, just
Okay, because you're distracting me playing with your hair over there. You know how I get.
Sorry. No, just reiterating what you said, which is basically we believe in our community is stronger because of its members and that we all bring something different. I know that we're behind, so I will shut up.
And people have different of opinions, all right? And people, my only issue is people who who either try to bully other people by telling them that
Yeah.
they're not good enough if they don't use the brand of tools that they use.
Yeah.
Which you'll never hear me say here. I may not like a tool,
Right.
but if you can get the job done with it, that's fine. But, but bullying other people into like saying, well, if you show up with Ryobi, you're not professional. And I know creators who have said that, and it just blows my mind because I know full well that if they've been on the job for as long as they claim they have, they've clearly seen true professionals who show up with Ryobi tools and do an amazing job. I know Shaka hates Ryobi tools and stuff. I know a lot of people in aviation, in car building, at SEMA. I met at least a dozen people at SEMA who use Ryobi every day and build $1 million cars with them. If they can build $1 million hypercar with Ryobi, I think you can work on your Chevy. I think you'll be okay. I think you can use it in your shop. As one guy who's a professional said to me, he's like, don't trash the tool. Don't throw it in the back of the truck, let it get rained on, everything else. You treat it with respect. It'll last you as long as you need it to.
And if you don't care for that tool, great. Don't use it. Use
you're
the tool
welcome
that
to-
works for you.
And you're welcome to say you don't like it, even here.
Right. Absolutely. Everybody is totally free to have their own opinion. We don't have to agree to it.
Princess Jamie says, peanut butter with melted butter and honey sounds like pregnancy craving. Only if you threw pickles into it.
Okay, I never wanted pickles with that. I like pickles in general, but
She once sent me out like 1 o'clock in the morning to get pie.
one time.
I said
One
once.
time.
I literally said once.
And it was 4 pies, but whatever. It was 4 slices of pie.
Hipsters Hippie says, I was surprised to find out last night on Client Graphics live stream that Walmart Hyper Tough pry bars are made by Wild Tools, same as the old Craftsman pry bars, red handle and all. I didn't know that. I did know they were made in the USA and that a lot of people really love them. And that's why I always laugh when people say, well, you get what you pay for.
Chris,
Sometimes you get more than you pay for.
$1.99 super chat. It's not the arrow, it's the Indian.
Yep.
Bing, 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 bing. So true. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Which is the meaning of if you're not good enough to do the work, a better tool isn't going to help you get there.
Yep.
And I know a lot of people who fixate way too much on the tool and what tools they have in their workbench rather than on what kind of work they do.
Yep.
And let's see here. Fred Hill says, Bear, what O-light would you suggest for the combo light and laser O-light? I am not a fan of friggin' lasers. And it's so I can't show you. I've got one.
Nope.
I can't show you. I can show them that. I can't tell what it is. They can tell what type it is.
Yep.
But it has no laser. And I don't like lasers on handheld stuff like that. I find in a defensive situation that a laser is not any more useful than just the light itself for defensive use. So I would say go without the laser.
Unless you have a cat.
Unless you have a cat. They're excellent for
Cats.
dealing with rogue cats.
I meant entertaining cats.
Oh, no, that too.
Halen Wolf with a $2 super chat. Well, off to bed, work tomorrow, and chopper prep.
Ooh.
Thank you. We will probably see you in the morning. Have a great night. Ding, bada, ding, ding.
Matt says, today I broke out the cheap Chicago Electric orbital sander I got for $10 at Christmas to prep my golf cart roof for painting. Worked great. You'll find I am not a sander snob. I've used a lot of sanders. I've used the really nice ones from Festool, and they are really nice. There's no way on God's green earth that they're worth $700.
I'll be right back.
They're not. I've got I did the video on the DeWalt one. People like, boy, talk about a lot of hate. They're like, you're just pissed because, you should have known what you were getting. Sorry. At that price, it should have had the freaking adjustable speed. Not having it is just, because there's nothing else about the sander that makes it any special. I have that sander. I have a Black & Decker sander. I have a Warrior sander. I can't tell the difference from them. And I've sanded a lot of stuff. A lot. Jim Haynes says this summer when in Montana, maybe a day trip to Montana Brad's drill bit company. That sounds like a good idea. I still owe a trip over to Red Ox. I was supposed to go last summer and we never got around to it, and I feel really bad. They're really nice people up there. Talking about made in America, everything about that company is made there. Fred Hill says, what's up with the Harbor Freight charge card? Slowly rolling out. What I heard was basically it got launched prematurely. Like they were testing it and people weren't supposed to really know about it. It wasn't supposed to be up on the website. And somebody made something go live they weren't supposed to. And of course I jumped on it, kind of called them out on it. Oops. Well, you should have put it on the website. I hope somebody didn't get fired over that. I just thought about that. I really hope someone didn't get fired over that. Grant Van Reason. I hope I'm pronouncing the last name. Is GVR Tools. Love your channel and watching on my 50-inch TV newly installed in my garage. That's awesome. I'm a big screen kind of guy, and having a TV like that in your workshop is great for all sorts of uses. I pull up blueprints and stuff on it, diagrams, wiring diagrams on all sorts of stuff, and being able to blow it up and really especially when you got old eyes like I do. Alco Steam says a friend has a 36-inch Cincinnati shaper that chips off of it. You can't bend my hand. Yeah, those things are fabulous. I could sit there and watch them all evening. Just sit there with rum and Coke and just watch it just shave. Fred says one engine Mopar is leaking is the 6.2 liter Hemi. I think you mentioned before that they were having issues with that. Matt, no. Cletus, hey Cletus, what's the biggest mistake you ever made in a project? Which time? I am really mad about remembering. I gotta write it. I have to write down measurements. And there's been many times.
Oh, yes.
Many times I've built something and just to get to the end and being like, it's not long enough or it's too long. My travel trailer, not travel trailer, my utility trailer. And you may have seen the videos on it. I built the walls for it. I had to go back in and cut 1/4-inch fairing strips to seal a gap because I measured everything 1/4 inch short somehow. And or because I didn't write it down and I remembered it incorrectly because I was being smug. Actually, you know what? That's not true. I did write it down. I wrote it on the piece of wood that I was using because it was right there. And then I got the bright idea that, you know what? Before I install these, I'm going to paint them so everything's painted first.
Yep. I remember that. I can remember that in our driveway.
And
the
I
kids
painted
were so
right
thrilled.
over the measurements.
Yep.
So that was a pretty bad one. I'm trying to think what else.
And Brad's workbench, while you're thinking about that, he says every project has mistakes. The masters of the craft just know how to cover them up better. And that is true.
Yep.
That is absolutely true. Or the other masters of the craft also know how to engineer and maneuver around the last guy's mistake or non-measuring or doing some half-assed job. Like our trim at our last house. I think they were drunk and monkeys. I was like, there's like a 1/4-inch gap that's not even connected in any way, shape, or form. Sorry.
Man, I'm behind.
You're working on it. You're getting there. You're
Donna
getting
Ross
there.
says, our country exploded with CV as well our county.
County, yeah.
I don't. Lane says, in the current climate, do you think Eric Schmidt is scrambling to source Harbor Freight tools from anywhere but China? No, because you can understand there's only so many places that are scaled up to do that sort of work. You don't scramble and just like go to another factory and have them to like, hey, roll this out. There literally is nowhere else in the world that is scaled up to do the kind of manufacturing that China is. It's like Germany was, back, 50, 60 years ago. There's just nothing like it right now. And, Mexico's trying to do some of it. India's doing some of it. Malaysia's doing some of it. Taiwan is trying to scale up, but they don't have the infrastructure that China has. And it's the mid skills. It's not the unskilled labor. And it's not the highly skilled labor. We have both of that. We don't have the mid skilled labor. That is we don't have, well, we have some, but we don't have enough of it. And we're telling people, this is the problem. This whole thing got started with this whole, when was it Clinton said, we're going to, when they, the what do you call it? The school loan programs, when they took it away from the banks and said the government's going to do all the school loans and you get a loan and you get a loan. Because when I was young and you went to school, you had to qualify for a student loan. Mm-hmm. Now anybody just gets one. And once the government started handing them out, then, all these schools started opening up, and then there's a whole push for, if you don't have a college degree, you're nothing. And there's all these people now who are in their 20s and early 30s, early to mid 30s, who have college degrees and can't get jobs because they chase their passion, which is underwater basket weaving or whatnot. And they've got probably a master's degree in it. And then they took 2 years off to travel the world and
find themselves. And
go back camping or backpacking in Bucharest or whatnot. And they don't have a skill, or they don't have even a medium level skill. And you can't produce that overnight. The other thing is you need feeder companies that can feed the parts that feed the larger company. And there's several tiers. There's 4 or 5 tiers of these who have to, well, I get parts from this company. And they're like, well, I get parts from this company. And I get parts from this company. And I get raw materials from this company. You just can't replace that. And I've been meaning to do a video on this because I actually know a good deal about the whole supply chain for manufacturing and the economics behind it. And I had to do some consulting with a company and basically learn how their supply chain worked. And they talked about moving, and I learned from them. And they're a larger company that has a fruit as their logo. And you can't just move it overnight. Anyway, enough of that.
Matt, Drunk Monkey Trim Company LLC. I think it sounds great. I don't know where you need me to sign. That sounds like a fantastic the Drunk Monkey Trim Company, LLC, the one that obviously did the work at our last house.
Yes.
But I'm thinking we can sign the paperwork now, get the company together.
Hello, ma'am. I'm here from Drunk Monkey. We're here to do some work.
Yeah. You'll be providing the beer, right?
Yeah. Fred says, I want to replace my LP gas grill with a pellet smoker grill.
Yep. Oh, he asked that question earlier. Like way earlier at the beginning. So,
What?
Sorry. He just repeated the question that I didn't address while you were here because you were not
That wasn't
quite
a
ready.
question. It was a statement.
Whatever. The statement. Thank you for...
I'm going to be honest. I've never
Words.
been... what is the appeal of the pellet? Is it that you can basically insta-start and start cooking in almost the same way you can do with gas?
I would think it's a time thing, but...
I'm trying to understand what because there's another company that's been trying to get me to market they want me to do a review on a wood pellet, what do you call it? Pizza maker. It's like this big. This big. It's made out of sheet metal, and on the back it's got a little pellet thingy you fill with pellets, and you could do wood-fired pizzas. I'm like, I don't see how this is relevant, but I don't know.
You also haven't tried it, right?
No, I have not.
Okay.
Donna Russ says, leather sounds bad. Would be hard to keep clean. Would also be hard to breathe through.
Yes.
Antonio says, I use the impact sockets and the impact swivel sockets professionally every day. There you go. We talked about Fred and how heavy his safe is. Toolhead. Hey, Toolhead. How's it going, man?
Hey.
I just did an oil change and some small engine work. The icon sockets work great. We all have opinions. That's what makes us individuals, Antonio said. Adam says, how seriously do you think the Heartline of tools is going to get? It will certainly end up being more extensive than Hypertough. It will. They've got a huge line of tools coming out. You got two of the biggest companies. You got the second biggest tool company in the world working with the largest retail company in the world. How serious are they going to be? I'd say pretty serious. If you've walked into a Walmart anytime soon and see that they've all redone all their hardware section, the tool section, they're trying to make it into a small tool store. There's money to be made in power tools, and Walmart's been. And when Walmart is like, what's his name? The guy from Lord of the Rings, the Eye, not Charon. Anyway, when his gaze comes across you. You're in for it. If it doesn't look at you, you're fine. But as soon as Walmart has you in your sights, they're like, we're going to take a section of this market, just so you know. And let's see here. Princess JB says, I saw people building hot rods on TV with rigid also. They do. I know Justin Dow. He's a professional mechanic. He swears by rigid. He loves rigid. I don't know if he uses them day to day professionally, but he does use them at home. He's got an extensive set of rigid power tools. I think Rigid makes really good power tools. I'm not a fan of the way they do business in regards to their LSA, which is the reason you don't hear me talk about them much. And Bear One says, but lasers add like 10 horsepower.
That's true.
Ed the Tech guy says, Dale Lucid and I agree. Mrs. DeBear looks great tonight.
Oh,
well, she looks great every night. Right?
That's right. That's what you tell me, but in the morning sometimes I'm looking like a real bear.
Ian Ray says, I've heard this before. You can make anything with a shaper except profit.
Ouch.
Andy says, let's do a toolbox tour. Now's not a good time because I'm half packed. We're unpacked.
Yeah.
It's all moving.
We need like 2 of everything.
Yeah.
Except for the things we have like 6 of.
Yeah.
That is like the story of my life.
Yep. Alco says, if you like shapers, do research on vertical slotters. I've seen those. They're like shapers and will do certain things that no other machines can do. Indian Craftsman... Trent says Indian craftsmen would build a mistake in their projects to get that out of the way. Oh yeah, the Indian. I get it. Sorry, I'm thinking like, does he mean India? Okay, I'm with you now. They would purposely put a mistake in so that they could work around it, and thus, basically, it's engineering in Murphy, so you know where it's going to show up.
Yep.
Bear One says, "I'm mistakes in covering them." Yeah, there's kind of a bad term for me and my mom we use when we see things because this bad handyman, a horrible landlord, used. And Antonio says, "Education isn't worth anything without the skills to back up the education or the job to hire you into for it."
Yes, underwater basket weaving is not.
It's like you have a great education. I went to school, just so you know. While I was a carpenter, I was going to college, and I'd get up in the morning, I'd go to the job site, I had worked out with my boss, I'd leave, I'd go to class. I was taking classes in, and I know some of you who don't know this are going to laugh. History of the Philosophy of Ancient Religion with a specialty in Mesopotamia. Okay. As you can tell, I've done a lot with that education. I'm speaking from experience. There's a lot of things you can get a degree in that are not worth getting a degree in. Anyway.
If you want to use the degree to make a living.
Unless you want to teach other people to have that degree that is also worthless, unless they're also going to be teachers. Do not rob me, says Icon. Any tool that says not made in China has my dollar. You know, I want to add to that. I've had a lot of people saying before, because I know there's this whole thing about people are anti-China these days. First of all, I don't like that because the company is not the government. All right. This is not like in the United States where we have democracy, and we have issues in the United States. Okay. Clearly we do. But the government there acts as its own entity. And that does not, these are just private companies. They're just people like you and me trying to make a buck and have a wife and kids and live the, not American dream in that case. That said, my real issue is when they tie in Taiwan to that, because Taiwan, they came from China, but they left. They got ousted out of China because they wanted a free China. And they're on this island threatened daily by China. You'll find nobody who's more anti-Politburo, anti-communist China than the Taiwanese. They're rabidly supportive of the United States. They're close allies and trading partners with us. And people say, well, I'm willing to buy tools from Japan and from Germany and whatnot, but not from Taiwan. No, Taiwan are our friends.
Taiwan does not like China.
They hate China.
Yeah. There was also a discussion between Ed, the old tech guy, a follow-up to this, and Do Not Rob Me, where he's saying, Ed, the old tech guy was saying, so if it says India, you're okay with it. He said, you got me there. Do Not Rob Me is responding. He says, I texted without thinking. It was more of a knock on China. I should have said made in the USA only, but not China is great considering I'm unemployed right now, COVID. So I think there's also some emotions going on.
Yep,
with the statement.
I totally get that.
Yep, we totally get that.
And I would bet that our grandkids, if you're my age, will be looking at made in India the same way that we look at like made in Taiwan or made in Korea these days. Right now, made in India basically goes, yeah, I wonder if it'll make it home without breaking. In 30, 50 years, they're going, with the kind of money they have, they're making over, they're going to scale up. There's just no way that's not going to happen. David says, please review the wood pellet oven.
I saw that. Pizza oven.
Rodney says, oh my gosh, I forgot it was Sunday. Hello, my friends. Hi, Rodney.
Hey, Rodney.
Frank says the pellet grill is great for creating smoke, flavor, and controlled, long-lasting hot heat. Dave says my company is moving everything back in house. The boss asked me to stay on to train, and gave me a nice raise. 2,200 part numbers contracted out. Wow. Barbecue 76 says the pellet poppers make great low and slow Q. They do it almost set it and forget it. That's the appeal of the pellet smokers. Okay.
Cool. That's totally the kind of info that is good to know.
MD says, have you considered adding at the bottom of your Denna tool sticker, made in America, just like Craftsman? I wasn't made in America. For those of you who don't know, I was born in Germany. Now, I was born as an American citizen.
Two American parents.
Yeah, two American parents. But you know what I did think about, though? Here's a great one. This is a perfect way of putting in perspective my issue with Stanley Black & Decker's use of the term "made in the USA" with global materials and standing behind that proudly. Would you, if you did, and I'm just saying you're not saying you're going to go out and buy IKEA, but let's say you go out and you got an IKEA entertainment center. If somebody came to your house and they're like, "I love that. Did you build it yourself?" Would you say, "Yes, I built that myself with retail sourced parts"? Would you say that? Would you say, "Well, did you build it?" They say, "Well, did..." No one would ever say, "I built that." They might say, "Oh, I assembled it, and it was a pain in the butt."
People would say, "I assembled it."
You would never say you built that. No person in this chat would say, "Yep, I built that."
Okay, no person in this chat, but if you are a college student or someone unfamiliar, they might say.
Or somebody who likes to misrepresent the truth.
I don't think it's misrepresenting. I do think that there are people that misrepresent the truth. I think that there are some people that are just ignorant of what it is to truly build something, and they might say that.
Are you saying that Stanley Black & Decker is ignorant of what it means to build something? Because I might agree with you.
I'm not saying that.
All right, moving on. Sorry, I got to catch up. Antonio says, "I think Justin Dow has some Ryobi power tools as well as rigid." I would not be surprised. I'm trying to think. I'm pretty sure he does. Scott says, "Thanks for the info on the swivel sockets." Thank you, Antonio, for chiming in on it. Golf and Good says, "Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering from Penn State here." Way to rub it in. And let's see here. I learned a lot of what I do know about math and science on the job by working with people who are brilliant, guys with doctorate's degrees and master's degrees in engineering and whatnot. And it's amazing the kind of education you can get just by being around really smart people. And let's see here. Jim Haynes says, "We sell lots of big military hardware to Taiwan. The only reason China doesn't attack is because the U.S. is standing behind Taiwan." Yep. They would love to flatten Taiwan in a heartbeat. And somehow, I think I'm caught up.
Yes, I wasn't going to say anything because I didn't want to jinx you because you might go on like a long-winded rant about randomness.
It happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Anyway, Antonio says, "Funny thing about DeWalt is that they use unit watts out UWO measurements in the USA, but every other country uses Newton meters, and UWO isn't convertible to inch and foot pounds."
And that's one of those things that somebody started doing it 100 million years ago, and nobody has changed it.
I'm going to go back here and make sure I didn't miss anything here. Swivel sockets, please, the wood pellets.
Pellet stove.
Let's see here.
Just a chime check. It is 8:47.
8:47. Okay, yeah, we can't go late tonight because we got to get some sleep because we got to run over to storage in the morning.
Hipsters and I have to teach, and I have to do like 3 other things. Hipsters and hippies, says Dale Lucid. My wife is trying to figure out why I'm laughing so hard, and I can't tell her. I don't know what you guys said, but it sounds hilarious.
And Sonic Chris says, "I have no issue with Chinese people. The CCP I hate with a passion, and it's hard to separate the CCP from the individuals' companies." You know what? I hate the U.S. government with a passion most days of the week.
Yeah.
But I love Americans, and I bet there isn't a person in here who does not have a serious issue with some form, shape. It could be the DMV or something else, any part of the U.S. government, and yet you still love this country. So it's, I have a lot of friends, having worked in California, especially where the part of California I lived in. I lived in an area town that was for quite some time where I was the only or one of the few non-Chinese people. I worked with people who are either first generation or second, or they're either immigrants themselves or first generation Chinese Americans. I had one friend who doesn't speak Chinese, but his parents raised him to only speak English, or speak American, as they say.
Right.
And he speaks with the thickest Chinese accent and cannot speak Chinese because they were terrible English speakers. and he's terribly embarrassed by it. And luckily, I know he doesn't watch this, and I'm not going to say his name. He's a great guy, and his parents are great people. So I know lots of Chinese and Chinese Americans, and they're almost to a fault, beautiful people. The government is not the people, and any more than our government. Our government is supposed to be by the people, for the people, and of the people. I think we lost that some time ago.
Yeah, I'm not going to go on a long-winded rant,
I will.
But I am just going to say that we are America. We, the people, are America. And a lot of times people get it twisted. They think that the government is America. It's not. It's the people. And don't lose sight of that. That we are what makes our country great. And sometimes we fall down. But
yeah, sometimes. IRA says, I can attest to 30-year-olds graduating with useful college degrees in engineering not being able to get jobs in the early 2010s. Wow. That's sad. Gary says, which is also part of the reason why I was saying the whole thing with the craftsman thing about like, hey, we're bringing factory jobs back here. I'm like, no, these are not the jobs you're looking for. We don't need more bargain basement jobs. We need more jobs for that mid-tier tech and the high skill sets. We don't need more entry level stuff. There's plenty of, jobs at Walmart, jobs at fast food. I mean, freaking Wendy's is paying $15 an hour. We got to up the scale here. Because if you don't, then you get into a situation of attrition where suddenly you don't have any skilled workers, and now you're never going to get back to that level. You can't let the skill set decay, because if you do, it's perishable. Because if we let that decay, then we don't have it for the next round, and if you don't have it, then you can't get there from here. Gary says, "Hey, buy IKEA. I need the work in the Dakotas."
Nice.
Jennifer says, "How about furlongs per fortnight?" What is that? I know how long a furlong is. I know how long a fortnight is.
You do or don't?
I do. A
Okay.
fortnight is 2 weeks.
Yes. Barbecue 76, $5 super chat. It says, that's at least the third time tonight you've both have mispronounced pellet pooper. What were we saying?
I call them pellet smokers.
I didn't misspell it. Now say it with me. Pellet pooper. All right. I feel like I'm on,
Pellet smoker. I see it right there. It says it right there. Pellet smoker.
I feel like I'm on the Fiverr. $5 to say this.
To say it right.
So now you're
You could
questioning my entire identity.
With your voice, you could probably make a good living on Fiverr just doing perky little voiceovers.
Yes. Well, that's what I did for a really long time with phones. $5 super chat for Barbecue 76. Now you're going to have to tell me if I said it correctly or incorrectly. Ding, 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 ding. Ding, ding, ding. Bing. Okay. Thank you.
Jim says, I would love to see Apex Gear Rich move China-made tools back to Taiwan. I think we all would, to be honest. And Princess Jamie says, I work for the government. LOL. Enough said. Yeah. There is, my grandfather and my father, biological side, both worked for HUD. And all I can say is who was it? It was Penn from Penn and Teller. If you ever get a chance, if you're ever in Vegas, you got to go see Penn and Teller. It is a great show.
Their show might be vastly different now.
That's true. You might have to sit further away from the stage. And no, the whole point is that Penn is a far, far left liberal. He's a straight up pacifist and hippy dippy kind of liberal, but he's a libertarian and he supports libertarian agendas. Why? Because as he says it, he doesn't trust the government. He goes, when you put the people in government in charge, they screw things up. He's like, he goes, if there's anything you think the government should take care of and run, just ask yourself, would I want the DMV to be in charge of this? I can't think of anybody who'd be like, well, unless I was in Montana, because the DMV in Montana is really nice. If you're in the small, I don't know, I've never been to the one in Billings and know what that's like. But the one in Livingston is, you walk in, you say hi, you're in and out in 10 minutes. There might be one or two people ahead of you. You usually know them. You chat with them about what's going on, who has the hottest hot tubs that week. And that's what they talk about around there. It's the way people talk about the weather. And why are you looking at me like that? The hot springs.
Hot pots. Yeah.
Hot pots. Well, they talk about, because they're all naturally fed. Like, well, this one's running 104. This one's running 105. And I'm like,
for a hot second, I thought he'd had like a mini stroke. And I'm like, who is talking about hot tubs? Because nobody's talking about hot tubs. Whatever.
They're like, well, this one, the sulfur's kind of high over at White Sulfurs, and I'd avoid it for this week. It's like that. Yep. But, I mean, seriously, the DMV in Montana is insane. It's actually worse than California. I wouldn't want them to be in charge of handing out
ice creams.
You know what I want? I want them to be in charge of handing out parking tickets, because they would be terrible at it and would never get done.
Yep.
Anyway.
Aaron says, greetings from Montana. Hey, Aaron, which part of Montana are you in?
Jeff says, looking at the Harbor Freight Pierce siding nailer. Love that. And any info? I have the pin nailer. So the Pierce one, and it's great. I've not heard any negative feedback about the Pierce nailer. I've had the basic Chicago pneumatic or Central pneumatic, and they were fine too. All the nailers. I've not heard anything negative about any of the nailers. Frank says, are we meeting in the morning? We are, Frank.
Yes.
We are meeting in the morning.
Yes.
Market's going to be, hold on. Let me check my crystal ball.
So, apparently I still pronounced it incorrectly. And Jim Haynes says, absolute power corrupts.
Absolutely.
Corrupts absolutely.
Yep.
Ed the Old Tech Guy, it says, Wes, the government was able to streamline tax collection better than any businesses and giving themselves raises better than any industry or business.
Well, this is what I've always said about in California. If you live in California and there's something that has to do with the government getting money to you, there's 50 million hurdles and it never works right.
Right.
Ever. But if it has to do with taking money from you, it's entirely streamlined. They will reach into your bank. They will deactivate your driver's license. They will send people to your house. They know where you live. They know where your second house is. They will get their money. But as far as getting you money, maybe not. All right.
Trent says a republic is not a democracy. Democracy is two wolves and a lamb voting on what they are going to have for lunch. Liberty is a well-armed lamb consenting to vote. Benjamin Franklin.
Yep. Democracy is ultimately devolves into high school politics. And as I often say, it also becomes that situation of the bad apple. Because the bad apple, and it just takes one that starts infecting the whole bunch. Because once one person sees another person slacking or another person taking money, then even that person is like, well, why am I working so hard and making squat when he's doing this? And eventually they either stop working hard or they join them. So it's a loser either way. So Crystal Ball says that we should have at worst sideways, at best green market tomorrow. You can quote me on that. We do that over at the Bears Den, by the way. If you ever want to check it out, we do Stock Talk for an hour in the morning, Monday through Friday. We are going to have to probably only do 2, maybe 3 days of it. We could do it from the road. Wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, that's just what I need to be live streaming while driving.
What
could go wrong?
And checking the stock market.
Be like, officer, I was not speeding. The market was just, it was drilling, and I was not speeding.
The spy was drilling. What was I supposed to do? Of course,
Yeah.
I ran him over.
Barbecue 76, 276. Okay. You pronounce it, because I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't understand what you're saying.
I thought it said pellet popper.
Pellet
Popper.
popper.
It's a barbecue thing. Say it with me. You'll have to spell it phonetically if we're not getting it right this time.
But wouldn't you, if something is a popper, it's Popper.
Well, you said pellet pooper before, and apparently it was wrong.
But is the question, is it not pellet, it's pellet?
Pellet.
Pellet? Or are we just having like,
Oh my gosh.
who knows? We'll have to check the internet. Barbecue 76 with the 276 super chat.
You'll have to do one of those videos on how to pronounce things.
Yes. Bing, bada, ding, bing, bing, bing. Okay, now I'm going to Google it, because now I'm going to have anxiety. I'm going to wake up in the middle of the night and be like, pellet.
So I had a discussion with somebody recently about whether it's Caribbean or Caribbean. And I did a bunch of research, and I finally found out that the correct answer is that nobody knows. In fact, I did a search on YouTube for the correct pronunciation, and I found 10 videos. How the correct pronunciation, and like they're all like 15 to 20 seconds. And half of them, literally half, were Caribbean, and the other half were Caribbean. The best explanation I've heard is it depends on
Where
the
you're from.
usage. No, like it's the Pirates of the Caribbean, but it's the Caribbean Sea. And the cruise line is definitely Royal Caribbean, but it's the Caribbean Islands. It's the Caribbean Sea, but the Caribbean Islands. Think on that one. Gramit says, exactly, I have a problem with the justice system, but would fight and die to defend America. Oh,
Yep.
the justice, the legal system. I often joke that I am not a lawyer, but I played one at work. I've been involved in way too many legal court kind of disputes, and it's insane, and it's entirely broken. It's entirely broken, and it's broken because the lawyers want it to be broken, and they pay good money to make sure that it stays broken, because that gets them big money and jobs. Because if you had reasonable judges who would just go in there and be like, yeah, this is ridiculous. He gets this much, you get that much, now get out of here. That would cut them out of work.
Aaron, I didn't see before. He is in Belgrade. He says, I laughed watching your video on Murdochs.
We love
I'm
Murdochs.
trying to remember.
That was 2 years ago. It's the one in I think it's the one in Livingston.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember.
You weren't there. I did it with Duncan.
Oh,
We stood
okay.
next to the big gun safes they have
yeah.
and stuff. Michael says, I'm looking for a trailer to pull behind my Harley Tri-Glide. Would the small trailer from Harbor Freight hold up to highway speeds? If you got the right tires for it, it would.
Yeah.
But you'd have to be really careful about making sure that you've got good bearings in there and that you maintain them
And that you have a spare
fairly
tire
often as
and a
just
jack.
spare tire. Sarkar says, agreed. My dad worked over there for years in oil and gas. I went over there in junior high. People are not the issue. Government control at that level is just sad. It is. And government control has gotten worse with the latest junta that's in there. They're in putting themselves, basically there really is like a squad of thought police at every single company. Now, it's not as bad as it used to be where they're like, you can't say stuff like, I mean, they're still doing that, but it's not, the reason they're there is to make sure that the government gets their cut of the money. And they're like, when it comes down for you to negotiate with foreign entities and stuff, we want to be sitting at the table with you to make sure that we're making money together. I'm like, because as they say it, the land, is what got you. They're basically saying they're doing it for the people. But the reality is, if you go outside the big towns, I don't see where that money is going for the people.
Okay.
Yes.
It's officially come in. Pellet pooper. That's what it is. He just wanted me to say pellet pooper. Pellet pooper.
You're the one. Anyway.
Pellet pooper.
So, Wes says, of course, the history of, the over the course of history, name one industry area the U.S. government extended its reach into and made things run more smoothly and efficiently. Well, if by efficiently you mean killed it off completely, I could probably name a couple, but no, they don't. It's funny because people like, you get these people who are like, I will only eat free range chicken and I want all organic this, but I want the government to control every other aspect of my life. So you want free range and everything else because you realize that not meddling in the affairs of something is better, but suddenly you think people are going to make it okay. Where are you broken if you think that?
It's feelings.
It's I have a friend who absolutely believes that the government is going to fix what's wrong, and that it's all these, he's very liberal, and he thinks that, and what's worse is he's Jewish, and he wants the government to come in and tell all these, Christian-based companies that they have to provide, what do you call it? Birth control and stuff. He goes, because they're blocking it. I'm like, they're not blocking anybody. They're saying they won't pay for it. I'm not saying whether I agree or disagree with them. Okay. But it's their company. And I think, honestly, companies paying for any kind of healthcare is stupid. Nobody else does it this way. Are you stealing my fan?
I'm your wife. It's not stealing.
Wow. Bold move there.
You've had the fan all night.
I have all night. Anyway, I'm not making a judgment call about whether what this company is doing is right or wrong. I'm making the judgment call about whether using the power of the government to force them to do something that is not illegal. It's not a right. You could argue that it should be. That's a whole nother argument.
Right.
The fact of the matter is,
because he and I have gone round and round about this particular subject.
Yeah. And and if you want to make it a right, if you want to get, everyone together and pass that law, I'm going to choke to death.
Yep.
Because you took my fan away.
Really?
Anyway, I'll get off my soapbox. But the fact of the matter is, I'm like, I don't understand how, because he's like, these Christians, these radical Christians who own these big companies who do this. And I'm like, you sound like a pre-World War, German talking about the Jews. And you're Jewish.
He doesn't see it that way, though.
He doesn't, because he's blind, because the road to hell is paved with good intentions. The Khmer Rouge thought they were doing the country a service, too, as they lined people up and shot them in the killing fields.
Okay. Family friendly. We're going down.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Jim Haynes says, night, it's witching hour back east. It is after 9 here. We've gone too long. Yeah. Nova Snick says, the DMV in Montana is scheduled to close now that you opened your big bear mouth. You're not supposed to point out good governments. Oh, yeah, I know. Barbecue 76 says, yeah, my caps lock got me. Say poop, then add So it's a pirate thing? I don't get it. Grimmitt says, right, and you're guilty unless you have the money to buy your innocence. Yeah. Or it's, if you got enough money, you can do anything you want. You just ask OJ and the Kennedys. And let's see here. Gary says, I need good blades for oscillating tools that will cut nails. 2x4s. I have trim 30 feet of walls, new bottom boards. There's lots of good ones out there. I've got the Hercules ones. They send them to me. I didn't buy them. They seem to be excellent. I like Bosch blades. Who else makes a good one? But there's a lot of cheap ones out there that are actually pretty decent as well. Let's hear what else. Diablo, I think, has recently started making those as well.
For a hot second, I thought we were like blazing through history. Frank says 14 more likes to get 2,000. He meant 200, but I was like 2,000.
Yep. Barbecue 76 says Frank Lagraff's laughing because he knows what I'm talking about. And Andre, hey, how's it going, man? I start the stream and I get to you, Bear. Hello. I get that. Arg. Did you hear about the pirate walked into the bar? Oh, you have heard
Family
about
friendly.
them. I know. Anyway, so that's it for tonight. It's 9:09. That's going to be the end of our show this evening. On your way out, please don't forget to hit the like button. YouTube really appreciates it. And I realize that a lot of us are in financial straits these days, and you can't afford to support the channel in ways you like. We get all sorts of people commenting. We'd love to do a super chat, stuff like that. Remember, the best and quickest and easiest way to support the channel is with a like and or share, and we really appreciate it. And YouTube appreciates it as well. So if you could hit the like button, the little, is it the thumbs up? I keep thinking it's a bell. The bell's a subscribe. You can subscribe too, if you like. I mean, it's free. This decade only. Anyway, and also don't forget to adopt a mod on your way out. Pick one of the mods. That's the ones with the little wrench behind their name. And go and check them out. And check out their channel. And consider and give one of their videos a like also. And consider subscribing, because maybe they got more good content that you'll like. Also, big thank you to everyone who donated tonight with the super chats. You guys are amazing. And always blow our mind with the kind of support that you give us for doing what we do here. And we love spending our Sunday evenings with you. And can't wait to be spending our Sunday evenings in Montana with you.
Yep.
And let's see here. What else? Oh, also, thank you also for everyone who is a Den of Tools member. Again, that's like Patreon, but it's built into YouTube, so you don't have to go to another site. If you're interested, there should be a link down below. You can also go to the main channel page, and right over like where you clicked on subscribe, there's a join button, and there's 3 different levels. And I really appreciate each and every one of you who support us monthly. You guys are fantastic. And as a added benefit, you get a little bear next to your name. Yep. You could be a member of the Den of Tools. So anyway, thank you, all of you, for joining us here and being part of our online community. We love spending our time with you. We hope you all stay safe. Also, please remember those of us in the community who are not here, who have been sick. We've heard from several members and who've been missing, and I got to admit, I'm a little concerned about them. And if you know them personally, you can reach out and check in on them. Yep. Or you've seen them comment somewhere else or something, you know that things are okay, please let us know. We'd love to hear from them. So anyway, you all take care. God bless. And as always, shine on.